taste of blood in my mouth. The faces in the trees would smile and wait. They'd ask me how I'd been since yesterday. In a strange land, I hope found my way back soon. Tracing my steps, I know you've been there too. Wait 1 second for the rest of my life to pass right by. Over the hill and far away, ducks went one by one. They said it was safe. Little do we know just what awaits. Hands covering my eyes, looks like I was too late.
Shut up and sit down.
times I bit my tongue, and the taste of blood in my now. The faces in the trees would smile and wait. They'd ask me how I'd been since yesterday. In a strange land, I hope found my way back soon. Tracing my steps, I know you've been there too. Wait 1 second for the rest of my life to pass right by. Over the hill and far away, the ducks went one by one. They said it was safe. Little do we know just what awaits. Hands covering my eyes, looks like I was too late.
From Queensland's best juniors to the biggest junior prize in the state, it's welcome into Sun Bowl 41, the 2025 American Football Queensland Under-18 Championship. And today it is Kate Allman alongside Jeff McGoodwin on the call. We can't wait to bring it to you. Jeff, welcome in. What a matchup we have.
Yeah, we've got basically the last two champions of the Under-18 champions here in Southeast Queensland. So it's going to be a fascinating strategic battle between the two coaches, between the two teams. Really just a perfect day for football, Kate. It's going to shape up to be a good one.
Beautiful weather, sun is out. It is a little warm, but we expect it to get cooler. There's a bit of breeze, but nothing that will interfere massively with the punting or the throwing. And as you say, tradition meets dominance. On one side, we have the Gold Coast Stingrays. It's a club stacked with history, chasing yet another chapter in what has been a remarkable junior legacy. It includes 5 Sun Bowl titles since 2018. They are coached by former champions who know exactly what this stage demands. And the Stingrays arrive expecting to perform when it matters most. But on the other side, we have the Moreton Bay Raptors. These are the reigning under-18 champions, the back-to-back minor premiers from last year and this year, and a program that has turned sustained growth into sustained success, Jeff.
Absolutely, and they have done it by really winning in the trenches a lot of the time, Kate. So they haven't had a lot of the speedsters on the outside or a lot of the deep balls, but they run a very run-heavy offense, and that's really what I'd be looking for them to establish a little bit of that work.
May we please rise for the national anthem?
As we rise for the national anthem, and we get set here in Totally Workwear Stadium in Brisbane. The stage is set, my mic is on. We are here in Totally Workwear Stadium for Sun Bowl 41, and we cannot wait to bring it to you. Kate Allman here alongside Jeff McGoodwin. Welcome into the booth. We will be bringing you all the action as we watch the team step out onto the field. 2 sets of captains to make their way to the centre, and they will do the coin toss. And these captains, though they are under 18, Jeff, you know they have plenty of experience as well.
Some of these kids have been playing for almost half of their life, Kate, so they know what they're doing. And as the leaders of their team, it's really up to them to set the tone, make sure that the rest of the team is focused, locked in, and ready to go for what should be a good day of football.
For the Stingrays, it is Ashley Hearn, number 3, the quarterback. And for the Moreton Bay Raptors, their quarterback, Luke James, the QB, who has represented Australia in juniors, and we expect big things from him in the future.
So the Stingrays will get the ball first.
So it will be the Ravens to kick off. There you go. Ravens to kick off, Stingrays will receive, and that means they do get offense first, and that brings in Ashley Hearn, their quarterback. What can you tell us about him, Jeff?
Well, look, he's played for a couple of years. He's essentially rotated around the club a little bit. Been a receiver, been a defensive back. He's been the starting quarterback for Queensland for the last 2 years for the kind of all-star team for the under-18s. So he clearly knows what he's doing and has a lot of experience in these big games. And as the captain, I really would be looking for him to set the tone early on.
Jeff the acknowledgement he deserves.
We're going to have a 1 minute silence now for one of the superstars of American football, Queensland, Jeff Hayes. Round of applause for the Hall of Famer from Queensland, a Stingrays member who started the youth program here in Queensland and has been a monumental force in American football in this state. Sadly passed away this week, right before his team played in the Under-18 Championship. Our thoughts are with him and his family, and I know that he would love to see this and to see his Stingrays do well and put on a show here, Jeff.
Absolutely, and really for the Stingrays, I think they need to start fast in this game. They've got a lot of offensive weapons, a lot of explosive players, and if they can establish an early lead, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for the Raptors to keep up with their more ball control, run-oriented offense. So if they can do that, minimize their penalties, I think they've got a good shot today.
Stingrays are coached by Clark Vorhauer, and Moreton Bay Raptors have T. Suchun in coaching capacity today. We will talk through all of the assistant coaches as they come to bear on this game. 2025 American Football Queensland season in the under-18s comes down to this. Stingrays, Raptors. A rivalry that has transpired across the decades, and it all starts now.
That's right, that's Asher in the quarterback and number 0, Kundai Munyanyiwa to receive the kick.
So Ashley Hearn, usually a quarterback here on special teams, gets a nice block from Kunyamwida and brought down just before the 40. A great tackle made there by Denver Eastwood of the Raptors.
That was a fantastic hit, and really, Hearn had a lane, Kate. He got a lot of help from his compatriot in the backfield, number 0, to get out in front of him. And if Denver doesn't make that hit, I think there's a possibility he's going for 6.
So here we go. We've had a look already at Ashley Hearn on special teams, but here he is in quarterback. In fact, they're going to bring on their QB2 as well. Kane Buchanan, number 7, will take the first snap. It's a high snap and a handoff. Goes to the ground for a few yards. Nice carry by Emmanuel Sammy.
Yeah, a little unexpectedly putting in that backup quarterback, Kane Buchanan. He has a fantastic record. He's played a lot of really quality football over the years, Kate, with the under-14s. Led them to a lot of success. So not entirely surprised, I should say, but obviously was able to start off. Good play on first down.
He is a captain, and in fact, he was a champion in the 2024 Sun Bowl. Throw out left, and that'll get him enough for the first down. Their first of the day. It's Kundai Munyanyiwa, the second-year wide receiver.
Yeah, he just ran a bit of a curl route, 12 yards down the field. Really, really good depth on that route. He made sure that he got past that first down marker, came back to the ball to make a nice catch.
First and 10 from the 40. Buchanan has to rally that ball in, and there's drop in the backfield as Ashley Hearn misses the handoff. That brings them all the way back to the 35. A huge mistake early in this game.
They were going for some razzle-dazzle here, Kate. So it was a high snap, which threw the timing off, and then he still tried to hand it off to Hearn, but just couldn't quite get that handoff down. And Hearn did what he could to make sure that he didn't fumble that football. Big setback on first down for the Stingrays, though.
It's not what you need. That makes it first and very long for Ashley Hearn and Kane Buchanan. He's got a new running back in. He goes to the air instead, tight spiral. Great pass and great catch, in fact, by Jay Redford, who gets the first down and some. What a ball.
Great throw from Kane. Great route from Jay Redford. It was about a 10, 12-yard out. And he made someone miss after the play, which is what you really like to see from one of your captains. Got past the first layer and managed to pick up a huge chunk on that second and long.
Yeah, just shrugged that tackle off way too easily. Going to have to be tighter on defense, the Raptors, if they're going to stop Jay Redford. So 1st and 10 once more. Sidearm. This one didn't connect with Kundai Munyaniwa. Those two not on the same page. Some miscommunication with the quarterback and his wide receiver there.
Looks like Kane was expecting Cunha to run a bit of an out route, and Kane came cut inside, so that throw was away. Luckily for Kane, that was not a defender in sight because the defender was just sticking with the receiver the entire time.
So it looks like 4th down. They didn't quite get the first down earlier with Jay Redford's run. This is a must go on 4th down. Oh no, Buchanan is going to be sacked. Buchanan gets rid of it. A wobbling ball through the air, but it's batted away by Khan Shaikh of the Moreton Bay Raptors. Defense come up with a huge play.
Yeah, that was number 97, Soani Aholele, got into the backfield and started getting some pressure on Buchanan, and he did what he could to try to get that ball out. Bit of a desperation throw, but on 4th down, it's really going to be a turnover either way, so you might as well take a shot.
So it looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down a fair bit here, rather than punt, Jeff. What, do you like that decision?
Look, at that position of the field, I don't have a problem with it. 6 yards, you've proven that you can move the ball. It's early, as I said, they want to get a fast start. Totally understand the rationale behind it.
So 1st down now for the Moreton Bay Raptors, and it is blocked up in the backfield before it can gain a couple of yards. Luke James with his first handoff as QB.
Give Griffin Pepiat the gold star on that play. He got in underneath his block into the backfield and almost brought down the running back in the backfield. Still managed to slow him down enough so that the rest of his team could clean up that tackle.
So James takes to the huddle. The 18-year-old, 6-year veteran quarterback in this juniors has played for the Rhinos and the Raptors. And here he is for the Raptors. Bootleg out to the right. That one hits the turf. He was being chased down by the defense. Really good defense by Griffin Pepiat, who got through to the quarterback.
He looks like he's going to be very disruptive on the defensive line. If I'm the Raptors, I might think about doubling him. Up and we got a Stingray down.
It looks like number 10 for the Stingrays.
Yeah, that's Captain Jay Redford. Don't like to see that.
Well, we know how impactful he can be. Here's another look at the earlier play. Raptors defender. In fact, Stingrays defender got through Griffin Pepiat with the chase to force the incompletion. But Jay Redford hobbling there.
They're doing some work on his ankle, Kate. I don't know if maybe someone stepped on him as he was trying to make that play, because he came off hobbling pretty quickly. They're taping him up.
Well, it would be a huge loss. As we mentioned, Jay Redford had massive impact in the under-18s Australia versus New Zealand series that went on earlier in the year, and he is huge for this Stingrays offense and defense. And playing both sides of the ball, I suppose that's the risk you run.
On a hot day, you do wonder if some of these guys don't cramp up a little bit, maybe get a little bit tired. But the Stingrays have a lot of depth, so I'd expect them to have some substitutes who can still make a difference.
So 17-year-old Jay Redford goes to the sideline. He's replaced by a teammate, and it'll be 3rd and 8 for the Raptors offense. James goes to the air, high ball, way too long, just out of reach for his receiver, Luke Lord. Couldn't grab it.
It was a very well-timed throw, and I think Luke actually slowed up about halfway into his route. He just needed to keep going, started looking. He just needed to go full speed that whole time into his route, and I think he has at least a massive first down there.
ball was flying awkwardly. It sort of had a little too much height on the trajectory and came down wobbly. Nevertheless, they're going to have to punt here on 4th down. First punt of the day by the Raptors. Great spiral, and it's going to go into the end zone, unfortunately, but an unbelievable spiral there by Darius G.
That had great hang time, and the way it was coming down, I thought there was a decent chance it would just hit sideways and pin the Stingrays down within the 5-yard line, but unfortunately for them, bounced into the end zone.
Torp like that on an American football is harder than it looks. That is deceptively difficult. That skill, unfortunately, didn't bounce backwards, and that can happen with the Torp kick. Nevertheless, they're going to get good field position here. Starting at the 20. Stingrays back on offense. And Buchanan back in at quarterback. Usually the
defense there.
So Emmanuel Sami, 17-year-old, in at running back again. He's a track and field athlete. There's a wobbly ball. It finds Munye Niwa, and he's thrown to the turf. And flag comes in. I reckon there's a face mask penalty in that.
He made a nice play, too. You're going to see him give a bit of a stiff arm to the defender after he catches the ball to find some space. And might have just been a Raptors player then retaliated with another face mask.
That is a clear penalty.
Yeah, I'd expect that to be 15 yards, personal foul.
There you go.
They got to be more disciplined than that, do the Raptors. You don't want to be giving the Stingrays offense free yardage.
So they march up the field past halfway, and they're going to start here at the 41-yard or thereabouts. First and 10. Oh, swallowed up is Kane Buchanan. The defense comes through big with a stop there.
That's Ahalele again. That's his second massive play getting into the Stingrays' backfield. Buchanan just has no time here. By the time he winds up, he's already got a defender in his face. Big play for number 97. Now sets the Stingrays back. Second and long. Very long.
So defensive tackle Aholele, he's actually got a rugby league background, explains his huge strength and being able to work his way through to the quarterback here. They are backed up now. Hearn, got to make something happen, goes to the air again. Oh, lovely catch by Ashley Hearn. It's Buchanan that throws it to Hearn. Two quarterbacks link up for an outstanding play.
This is a huge throw, too. He's starting on the left side of the formation, throws all the way across the field on about a 15-yard deep out. Good catch by Hearn, too. Had to elevate to get that. And took a beating after the play by number 5, Kelly Kasulke. He's going to feel that one tomorrow.
You go in the air knowing you're coming down to some contact in those. Not fun, but great play made by Hearn. So 3rd and 4. Stingrays trying to catch the Raptors offside. Oh, the handoff is blown up in the backfield once more. Gee, Ahalele is causing chaos for the O-line.
Third play in the first quarter alone that he's managed to really, really disrupt the timing and put the Stingrays back even further than they would otherwise be.
4th and 10, a decision to be made. They haven't punted yet. They are just beyond halfway.
Good news for the Stingrays. It looks like Jay Redford's back in the game, and I think he's going to punt this away.
So Redford does punt end over end, searching for the sideline. Oh, great bounce. It's picked up at the 10 and taken out at the 15.
I think that was Kelly again on the return, but good punt by Redford. I mean, he managed to pin them deep. It landed at about the 9-yard line. Smart play by Kelly to pick it up and at least try to get the ball moving forward a little bit.
Kelly Kasulke, 18-year-old, in his 4th year playing for the Raptors.
He got an extra 5 there that he wouldn't have otherwise gotten if he didn't stand up and make a play.
He's played at Utah in Leighton College in 2023, and he's a Queensland representative. Plenty to come for that youngster. As a turnover, offense, defense. Now the Raptors come back out, and Luke James comes back in at quarterback. Under center. The handoff. Works out pretty well, and the big man is going to make his way downfield. Whew. Don't argue with Lorenzo Silva.
He lined up directly behind behind Luke James there. It was just a fullback dive, basically, but he is so large. He made at least 2 guys miss early on.
Just look at that. You can't stop him. Good luck. Championship to be hurdling others. Championship to be hurdling others. Incredible stuff.
He went right past Captain Charlie Chapman from the Stingrays, too. They're going to have to get low, get deep, find a way to get some pressure into the backfield here. I think that might be the only way they stop Silva.
Someone get that guy a college scholarship. Here's James again. 1st and 10. Into their attacking half. Great ball through the air. And Benson Maso had just green grass ahead of him until he was mowed down. But he brings it within 10. Tackle made by Ryan Clayton.
Love the play call here. You've just been successful on the ground 3 or 4 plays in a row. That sets up the play action pass because that defense is just crouching up, really trying to get close to the line, and he hits him on a bit of an out and up route. Beautiful adjustment to the ball, too, by Benson there.
Great tackle. Ryan Clayton needs to be teaching NFL players how it's done. Wrap the legs up and bring him down. So into the red zone now. Luke James with no score on the board. The Raptors in position to get the first. But they will take a timeout and talk things over first.
Looks to be a bit of a miscommunication. They didn't quite have the players out there that they wanted to, so they had to call timeout. Early enough in the game, might have been able to not have to sacrifice it, but they're looking good. They're in prime position to make something happen here. 5 yards away, you've got 4 plays. You've got the biggest, most powerful player on the field right now. I think the strategy should be fairly obvious.
Well, it's right there on your screen, isn't it? Lorenzo Silva, he's 16 years old. Jeff, he's playing in the under-18s. He's probably the biggest man on the field. Comes from a rugby league background as well. He's in the Dolphins Academy. But I think with that kind of play and that highlight reel, certainly I'd be sending it out to colleges over in the US.
When you can move like that, there is absolutely a place in big-time college football for you. And there's so many opportunities for international players now to have an impact and actually even make some money in the States these days. So Silva keeps working, keeps getting stronger and faster. He's definitely got an opportunity.
So here we go. 2nd and goal, first time in the red zone. And it's blown up. There's a flag on the play. Might have been a false start.
Yeah, that was Benson. He just turned a little bit towards the quarterback first. You could tell he was going to try to pull straight away and just got a little bit antsy.
So the wide receiver jumping offside early. Brings them backwards, unfortunately, because they were in the red zone. They're now at the 10. Still able to score if they play this right. 1st and goal.
Still got 4 plays. Still got a lot of meat there.
Silva lined up alongside James. Looks to go to the air, lofts it long, and miscommunication with Benson Maso there. He thought he was going for the corner route, and Maso turned inside for the post.
Yeah, like the quick pump fake, too. You're trying to draw on those defenders when you do that, and I think this is just a miscommunication once again. Absolutely. He was looking for the outside, and Benson just cut inside.
That's a replay of the earlier run by Benson Maso. We know he can go up in the air and catch balls high. I think it's the right decision to go high. If you're going to hit him, you need him to be on the same route page as you, though. So 2nd and goal. James fakes the handoff, goes to the second man. He's found a lane through Benson Maso, but again mowed down. Does go to Silva, but he's straight through and blown up in the middle. He's still moving, but he's dropped finally at the 5. Gee, if they'd started that play earlier when they were 5 yards out, they would have had it. Now 4th down, an important call to make here. We've seen Silva able to truck it along 5 yards. Do they go to that again?
They've certainly brought in some of their larger players. So they might be lining up for a field goal, actually.
Looks
They're
like the
gonna take
referee
3.
is signaling. Yeah, Kelly Kasuki is out there. Shot clock's getting down 6 seconds, 5. They might need to take a timeout if they can't get set. Oh, terrible snap. Need a timeout.
Absolutely should have burned a timeout there, Kate. They were clearly disorganized, waiting to get that last substitution in for the field goal.
So the 5-yard penalty really does hurt because that brings them back 5, and every yard is important for your kicker.
It does make the decision a little bit easier. 4th and goal from the 5, it's probably 50-50 you go for it or not, but from the 10 it's just a lot harder, so they're making the right move now.
Hold is good, and kick is no good. It went right wide. That's disappointing. All the effort from the Raptors. Kelly Kasuki couldn't convert the kick.
And this feels like a bit of a missed opportunity for the Raptors. They had so much momentum, so many positive plays going to Silva. And then when they got close to the goal line, they started to drift a little bit away from that. Started throwing it, trying some reverses. And all of a sudden, you come out with 0 points on what should have been a fantastic drive.
It looked good off the boot. It just floated right. Slight miss kick. Unfortunate. So still no score on the board, and the Stingrays breathe a sigh of relief. They come back out on offense.
I think we got a brief timeout here as well, Kate. On a hot day.
That might be the end of the first quarter. Our timer is not quite in time with the clock on the field, but that is the end of the first quarter. So a 0-0 first quarter, and entertaining so far. Both teams showing they can play offense well and also defense.
Yeah, they both moved. The Stingrays certainly like to move the ball through the air, whereas the Raptors clearly on the ground here. Love to see Toby moving the ball, and really this has been a Silva story for the first quarter for the Raptors. They're going to have to keep feeding him the ball if they're going to make an impact against the Stingrays defense.
That move, play of the game so far for me. Unbelievable. Silva, when he gets a lane, he can move. And in fact, when he doesn't have a lane, he can hurdle over people.
But what are the Stingrays offense going to do about number 97 here? What are they going to do about Ahalele, who has just been a difference maker so far for the Raptors?
At the start of this game, I asked you to give me your keys to the game, Jeff. For the Stingrays offense, what do they need to do?
Well, it was starting fast, and I was really hoping they'd get on the board for that first drive so that it wouldn't make me look like a genius, Kate, but unfortunately they haven't here. But what I do think they need to do, the defensive line for the Raptors is clearly
While we're here, we will thank some of our sponsors in Maple Park State High School, Brisbane State High School, Ferny Hills State School, Moreton Bay Regional Council and Ipswich City Council, as well as Gold Coast City Council. Our supporting partners, Impact Sports Australia, Tribal Sports, SportsLink Travel and Calling All Sports, Brisbane, New England. Thank you to all of our sponsors and partners who make this event possible. And as you can see, the crowd is building here for the Sun Bowl. Sun Bowl Championships all day. We have moved into a single day of events, and it couldn't be better. In my opinion, this is the greatest state to play American football.
There's a fantastic talent pipeline, Kate, and it's good to see the best of the best playing against each other right now.
Quarter 2, 0-0 from the first 15. Here we go. Kane Buchanan in the driver's seat. Big ball. Oh, it's picked off. Kelly Kasuki has it in his hands for the Raptors. Picked, and he's run running down the sideline, finds his way to the 30. Huge play on defense by Kelly Kasulki.
He was reading the quarterback's eyes the whole time here, Kate. Kane does get it out quickly, as we like, but he just didn't get enough on it. And Kasulki, as that center fielder of the defense, reading the quarterback, getting over there and making a huge play for the Raptors now.
Massive play, massive turnover. Kelly Kasulki makes himself known. And the Raptors take over at the 30. So Luke James lines up again. They might get another chance at the end zone. Shortly after they bottled the previous attempt, they need to get points on the board. James with the handoff to our favourite, Lorenzo Silva. Makes his way all the way to the 20. Still going, a rugby scrum ensues. He's brought down just before the first down.
It's interesting to see what the Raptors are doing. They're sending a receiver in motion just about every play, and what that does is it pulls a linebacker out of the middle of the field, and it gives Silva more space and fewer defenders in front of him. So I think the Stingrays might have to adjust their man-on-man defense right now, because Silva's just going to go plowing through if it's a one-on-one matchup. And he made their captain, Griffin Pepiat, look small, but everyone's looking small compared to Silva.
Second and short, Silva. He is tied up, but not before he gets the first down. That's all they needed, and they move the chains.
Silva's also doing a good job staying low, Kate. As a football coach, you always teach your guys in the trenches, the lower man wins. The lower man wins. You know, the taller you get, the bigger you become as a target. So if you can stay low, use those feet to drive forward, you can really make an impact on offense. And that's what Silva's been doing essentially this entire game. I think there's a clock issue there.
There is certainly a clock issue. There's a clock issue on our end, but also on the field. We believed it was quarter time earlier, but it might just be quarter time now. In fact, I think that's what has been decided. So 15 down, and we are 0-0 on the scoreboard with the Moreton Bay Raptors driving after a huge play made on defense by Kelly Kasulki. It's Kasulki, and in the backfield, it's been their big man Lorenzo Silva, who've been the game changers so far.
Yeah, I'll be curious if they get down in the red zone again. We'll see if the Raptors go back to the Silva well, because that has been working so well for them so far. I really think they need to avoid some of those outside passes when they get so close to the goal line. Use your advantages that you have up front, lean into that strength, and punch it in for what should be an early lead in this game. And on the flip side, Kane Buchanan's made some awesome throws so far for the Stingrays. You really wonder how a young quarterback can get past this really big first mistake that he's made. I'd be curious to see if they get him with some maybe shorter routes, a couple handoffs, just to kind of get him back in the rhythm, make sure that his head is in the right space after that big interception.
A few Stingrays fans turning out here at Totally Workwear Stadium. Stingrays looking to take the title off the Moreton Bay Raptors, who are the reigning under-18 champions. They are the back-to-back minor premiers. The Moreton Bay Raptors, it's a program that has had sustained success here in Queensland. They have had sustained success on offense so far using Lorenzo Silva, and I wonder if that's what they're going to do now. Luke Lord looks to be lining up in the backfield as well now.
Well, if Silva's getting the ball, he's probably going straight up the middle, Kate, so Luke might just be a bit of a decoy back there. And the fun thing about the Raptors, they've been around for a dozen years, and they have had a lot of success in those dozen years. They've got over 100 players across their different age levels, so the future is bright for them. They clearly have shown an knack for developing players, and we would love to see them really get to that next stage, which is with the men's program. Once they've had a long track record. They've spent time developing their youth teams. That's when you start to see the men's team do very well, when they just get the volume of players through the pipeline.
So here's Luke James under center, flips it to his man, and oh, there's a lane here for Toby Joshua. Joshua marches into the end zone for the first score of the day. Raptors touchdown.
Very, very clever play call here, Kate. Everyone thinks it's going to Silva. Nope, just a quick handoff to Toby Joshua, who manages to find a lane and was hardly touched on his way to the end zone there.
Could have walked it in, the wide receiver, 18-year-old and another 6-year veteran. Played for the Spartans and the Raptors as a junior, and he's also represented Queensland and Australia, making himself and his name known here in Queensland with the first score in the Sun Bowl for the under-18s. It looks like they're going to go for 2 on the conversion. Toby Joshua's in motion. They hand off Silva. In fact, he goes long. That was a fake handoff, and I think it's been caught. The hands go up. Darius G puts 2 extras on the board.
What a perfect ball from Luke James. I thought it was going to Silva. I think the whole stadium did. And he pulls it out of nowhere, throws a nice high ball, lets his receiver get onto it, elevate and make the catch over a defender too. Fantastic, fantastic concentration by Darius G there.
What a catch. Wide receiver has represented New Zealand in tackle football, a safe pair of hands, as you can see. Here's the earlier interception that changed the game and allowed the Raptors to get back on offense. All set up by Kelly Kasuki. So that score comes all the way back to that play. And this beautiful 2-point conversion collected by Darius G.
I'd love to see the Raptors sprinkling in some of these little wrinkles where everyone expects you to be going to Silva, and they now are taking advantage of that by using some of their other weapons on offense to get involved. Joshua with that touchdown run, and then G with the catch for that 2-point conversion.
Kickoff by Kelly Kasuki, runs along the ground, and a flag is on the plate.
Yeah, they'll start from the 35-yard line now. Once kickoff goes out of bounds, you unfortunately get a lot of free yardage if you're the offense, and it's kind of the last thing you want to do as a kicker on special teams.
Well, Kasuki has already made a big play as a defender and caught the intercept, so I think they may forgive him for this little loss of yardage.
Well, the Stingrays are still going to have to solve the Sione Aholele problem.
That is the defensive tackle who is barging his way through to the quarterback every time. Kane Buchanan just has no time. He either has to get out of the pocket or go quickly. So it's Buchanan back at quarterback again. That's blown up before they can get going.
Are they getting a false start here? That's Chase Kleinhans on the offensive line. He must have just flinched. I didn't see a lot of movement, Kate, but it does set the Stingrays back. They got a 1st and 15 now instead of 1st and 10.
Trying to force the Raptors offside. This time it's a handoff straight down the middle, and it is tackled very quickly. Yellow laundry on the field, though. Tackle was made by Darius G. Wait to hear from the referees about this call.
Well, he catches 2-point conversions on offense and makes big tackles in the backfield on defense. What can't Darius G do today, Kate?
Not much by the looks of things, Jeff.
They're going to march this one off, though. Hate to see personal fouls.
See if we can take a look on replay at what happened. There's the tackle.
There's a face mask. Yeah, he got his hand in there.
While he was facing the other way. The face mask gives them free 15 yards. 1st and 10. into their attacking half. James has to launch it. It is caught. Oh my goodness. Kundai Munyanyiwa. What a catch. I think he's kept it off the ground by the looks of things. But in the process, Buchanan's hurt, and the video referees are going to take a look at the catch once more.
Yeah, Buchanan was lucky to get out of there alive after Ahalele. And I think he tweaked something in his back. It looked like just when he was throwing it was a bit of an awkward one.
On replay, it does look like it may have bounced before getting into his hands and under control. Hard to overturn, though. It has to be conclusive to overturn the call. And it's zoomed in just off center of our screen.
Did he get that elbow underneath the football? I'll see if we got another angle here.
I don't know if he has control. It's not enough to overturn, we're being told. Not enough evidence to change the call on the field, which was a catch.
And what a massive play for the Stingrays. Kane Buchanan was almost clobbered in the backfield, managed to get off what felt like a Hail Mary throwing into the teeth of the defense, but a huge adjustment by Kundai to make that catch and get his hands underneath the ball.
The confidence as well by Buchanan, having thrown the pick to come back and throw a deep ball off his back foot and make that catch, Munyanyiwa. They do confirm the catch. A huge play made.
And they've switched up quarterbacks. Buchanan must be taking a breather after that long throw. It looked like he tweaked something in his back. So Hearn will come into the game, Captain Hearn.
First snap of the day for Ashley Hearn. He's going to take it around the corner and look for a block, but he's brought down. Couldn't give the don't argue to Darius G. He's having great impact on defense, G.
And you do wonder how the Stingrays adjust without Buchanan. Now, Hearn's been in this position before. He's played quarterback for them. If you're going to trust anyone to lead this team without Buchanan, it's going to be him. It does like Kane is going to try to come back in the game, though. He's just jogged back on.
So Buchanan looks to be okay. He had tweaked his back. You're right, Jeff. Saw him getting checked out by the physios. He is back in now. 2nd and 10. Stingrays on the march. Goes to the air, great spiral again. Oh, just couldn't reach Jay Redford, who pushed off at the last moment from his defender, Maurice Dayana. Couldn't get up to the ball, though.
It was pretty good ball placement. That's what you want to do as a quarterback, is go to the outside on those fades, keep it away from the safety where you have extra help. I think he might have just overthrown it just a tad for his captain, Jay Redford.
So 3rd down, Stingrays in the red zone. 3rd and 10 from the 20. Looking to get points on the board. Taking a lot of time with this play. And they will take a timeout and talk things over with their coach, Clark Vorhauer.
Yeah, they look confused there. I'm not sure if it was just the play call didn't get in on time or they wanted to make a late substitution, but there was clearly some sort of miscommunication. And so good decision to take a timeout on a critical 3rd down as you're driving the ball. Really want to make sure you get that team set up for what should be probably 2 plays realistically.
Their assistant coach is Todd Moreton. He's the offensive coach. The O-line, Ken Lee, Cassius Prima, also on the O-line. Those 3 in the midst of this discussion, trying to figure out what the best play call will be. This is an important one. I feel like this 3rd and 10 could be a game changer. If they score on this drive, they are right in it. If they allow the Raptors to go back on offense and to get another score up, the way that the game has been going with such slow moving, I think that they might be in trouble if they go into halftime down by 2 scores.
Couldn't agree more, Kay. The way the Raptors are controlling the ball offensively, they can drain a lot of clock, whereas the Stingrays, it's kind of been hit or miss on a lot of these deep balls, which stops the clock.
So Kane Buchanan back in at quarterback. Buchanan, short ball, and couldn't connect with Ashley Hearn. Those two not on the same page. The stop short route, he had to come back to the ball, and it was just too far.
And I don't mind the route. I mean, Hearn was running just a bit of an 8-10 yard out, trying to get to the stick so that he can make that catch and get the first down. But maybe Buchanan's arm isn't quite what it is after tweaking his back, because he looked like he short-armed that a little bit.
Certainly usually has a little more power in the ball. Fired it, but it did not have the same trajectory that it usually does. They get set quickly, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Buchanan. He's out of the pocket, bootlegs to the left, throws down the middle. Oh no! Nearly caught by Eden Wrigley and nearly picked, in fact, by Iverson Saumalu. It falls incomplete.
And Buchanan's limping again, but I like what he did here, rolling out, threw across his body because he did have someone open. Just a little too tall for number 14, Eden Wrigley, on that one.
And nearly picked by Max Lawrence, in fact, on defense for the Moreton Bay Raptors. Here's 4th down. They're going to kick this. They need to get some points on the board. I think that's the right call.
Well, that was 4th down, so they actually, unfortunately, have just turned the ball over. So the Raptors now take over. Pretty big drop.
Our apologies. Our screen not correct on the downs there. We will get that sort of bit turnover. So here comes Luke James once more. Finds his receiver on the bubble route who can continue the run. Luke Lord almost to the first down marker.
Good catch by Lord on that, and he made someone miss. He broke his first tackle to get an extra 5 or 6 yards on that first down play.
And they do get the first down. They move the chains. Luke Lord doing just enough.
He got clocked pretty well at the end of that play and got up a little bit slow. Be curious to see how he goes going forward.
Luke James is one of those 18-year-olds that will be moving into seniors next year. Love to get a championship to conclude his time here in the under-18s. Fakes the handoff, goes to second man, puts him behind Silva, and it's blown up before they can get any yards gained.
Great play by the two captains there. Number 23, Griffin Pepiot, and Jay Redford were both there, working around Silva as the lead blocker to manage to slow down the running back. Really good pursuit by the Stingrays defense there on the outside.
Joshua receiving the handoff there. Toby Joshua, another 18-year-old. They move backwards with that, though. 2 yards dropped. Makes it 1st and 12. 2nd and 12. Joshua in motion. Silva gets the handoff. He has to take 4 men with him to go to the turf. Eventually does. Gains 4 yards in the process.
Just a bit of a toss sweep here. Haven't seen Silva do a lot going to the outside. And as a result, the Stingrays were ready for it. They've got the defensive lineman, did a very good job pursuit to the ball there, and really having that second or third guy there to make sure that once Silva gets hit once, you need to have the second or third guy there to bring him down.
Third and 5 for Luke James. Tosses an ugly ball through the middle and it goes to the ground. Benson Mazo couldn't collect it before it drops. Under a lot of pressure there, Luke James, which forced a throw that was uncharacteristically bobbly.
That was a big drop as well. He kind of short-armed it, and Luke even said so as he was going back to the sidelines. He was saying, "That's on me, that's on me." He knows he missed that one, and fortunately for the Raptors, they're going to have to punt this away and give the Stingrays another opportunity. Yeah, Luke's still shaking his head on the sidelines there.
Kasulki with the punt. High ball, ugly one to catch. They leave it to bounce. Goes out of bounds at the 30. So the helicoptering ball in the sky, in the sun of this afternoon, is left to drop down, and the Stingrays get another shot.
And I do wonder what happened on the third down play. Luke James signaled to the sidelines and to his receiver that he was trying to audible. He maybe saw something in the defense that he was trying to take advantage of. He just couldn't quite get enough zip on that ball. And so now it's back to the Stingrays, and we have to see how healthy Kane Buchanan is with his arm. He is only 14 years old, and he can throw a lot further than I can, Kate.
So impressive, 14-year-old. 4 years left in this competition. Quick ball to the back, and it just hits Manuel Sami in the back of the head. A real miscommunication. It's what we call a falcon in Australian football.
Yeah, they were just trying to do a tunnel screen on the outside for their wide receiver where the outside guy cuts back towards the football, catches it, and comes underneath. And, yeah, Sammy, I think, just was a little bit too shallow in getting out into his route, into his break. Right off the back of the noggin there.
That's called using your head.
They're lucky it didn't get intercepted as well because that ball was in the air after the bounce for a little while.
So 2nd and 10. Let's retake that, says James. He goes the other way. This time Munya Nyiwa is able to catch and toss one man to the ground. He goes to the turf at the 5.
That's Munya Nyiwa again, using that stiff arm to get past that first defender and get a couple extra yards for his team. It brings up a pretty manageable 3rd and short now, 4 yards.
Munya Nyiwa, not the biggest man on the field, but he certainly can throw a stiff arm and make his way through traffic when necessary.
He's really proven to be a reliable receiver for the Stingrays thus far.
Buchanan, oh no, not again. Almost picked off by Kelly Kasulki. He's had one pick already. He is reading this quarterback like a book, Jeff.
And that all started with pressure by the defensive line. Once again, Buchanan just did not have a lot of time. You could see Aholele bearing down on him, and it just went through the fingertips, I think, of Kundai. Jinxed him by talking up his hands on the last play.
So Buchanan can breathe out. 4th and 5, and they're going to go for it. No, they're going to punt by the looks of things. Redford is back out there. Needs a big punt. That's huge from Redford. What a kick, and it does go too long. The big boot too big that time.
You'll take that if you're the Stingrays, though. That was a mammoth kick from Redford at that time. And we'll see how the Raptors respond. James, if you manage to shake off that last short throw, the Raptors have shown they can move the ball. They might start handing it off again.
So 7 minutes left in this first half, and still just 8 on the board for the Ravens, the reigning under-18s Sun Bowl champions, looking to go back-to-back. Not the Ravens, the Raptors. My apologies. Ravens are coming up later. Of course, Ravens play Rhinos in the seniors. That is a rematch of last year's Sun Bowl for the seniors. And if you are looking for something to watch, I encourage you to stick around. That is going to be a huge battle. As we watch the Raptors continue their battle with the Stingrays, and there is a broken up play by the Stingrays, number 33.
That's Captain Judd Greenaway. As a defensive end, your job is to keep contained. He just read the quarterback on that one, was reading his eyes, saw that he was trying to swing that ball out into the outside, and made a play. He almost had an interception there, too. Great job by their captain there.
5 yards out from the end zone if he had intercepted as well. Almost a huge play. So James gets another shot at this. Hand off to Silva. Silva barreling through the middle. Finds himself 7 yards, and he's finally stopped. The Stingrays defense having to put about 4 men on him to slow his pace down.
Number 23, Prepper, gets that first hit, goes nice and low, leads, gets his legs, but Silva keeps churning them until enough help arrives from the rest of the Stingrays defense to finish off that tackle.
Lorenzo Silva, he is a rookie running back. He certainly hasn't played like one so far. Gets another handoff. Silva nearly had the ball stolen on the way through. He muscles his way to the first down. I reckon they'll give it to him and move the chains here. They do.
You can see the Stingrays are starting to get beat up by Silva. There's a lot of hands on hips and hands on knees at the end of some of these plays, just because he delivers such a powerful blow from the backfield.
Great ball security there as well. The defenders were looking for a strip tackle and they couldn't get it from him.
The Stingrays have done a very good job coaching at all levels to punch for the football, to aim for the football. I know as a youth coach, they've managed to force quite a few fumbles from the Rhinos team that I coach, so I give them a lot of credit for the quality of their defensive coaching.
And a flag on this play. Looks like it might be a false start here.
I think the left tackle jumped just a hair too early.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Not the direction you want to move if you're the Raptors offense, but you've proven that you can move the ball against the Stingrays defense.
So Luke James went to the sideline to receive some instructions from his coaches. T. Suchun is the head coach. And Lafai Tole is the offensive coach. James has to wrangle a high snap again, goes to the right. This time Toby Joshua muscles his way down the sideline. A yard short of the first down.
Well, he just about got back to where their starting field position was at the end of that last play. So it's still going to bring up a 2nd and long. But once again, these Raptors offensive players managed to make that first guy miss, and they're always getting that extra yard. Same for the receivers for the Stingrays. Really good job by both teams, really fighting for every single inch on this field right now.
You're right, Jeff. They still have 10 to go. 2nd and 11, it says officially on screen. Two receivers on the left. He's looking that way. Instead goes right. James with a high ball. It's perfectly caught. And he can continue the run here. What a play by the Raptors.
You didn't think Silva was the best receiving target, Kate, but he surprises us again. He just does a wheel route out of the backfield, which is a very common thing for an athletic running back to do. Perfect ball placement over the defender there, and good adjustment to the ball by Silva.
It's his elusiveness after the catch and with ball in hand that makes him such a special player, able to shake off the first tackle, get the first down, and stay in bounds. He can move, he can catch, he can hurdle men. Lorenzo Silva.
And he's making the Stingrays defense feel every single play.
Hand off to the second man, stays behind Silva, does really well, does Benson Meso. Meso finds the edge, but don't argue to the tackle coming in by Ashley Hearn, but he does get to the first down. Well, that was all set up by Silva, and the protection he gave Benson Meso from the handoff.
It was a good fake, and then he just cut the absolute opposite way I think that play was designed for, but he used his experience, his brain power to see where that opening was and just hit it really hard. And he did a good job adjusting the ball mid-run as well. It started getting a little wobbly in his right hand, and he switched to the left to keep it away from the Stingrays defense because he knew they'd be punching at it.
So Raptors on the march now. Stingrays defense getting tired. Another handoff. Down the middle, there's more gaps opening up for Toby Joshua with a 3-yard gain.
Nice play by number 52 on the Stingrays defense, though, to wrap him up. Because these Raptors, they've proven they've got an ability to move that defensive line for the Stingrays. So if they can get a couple yards before the running back even gets contact, they can just keep doing that all day long.
And as they get tired, that is becoming more of an option, the run play. Silva is back in to the backfield. Rugby pass goes backwards. It's going to be picked up and they can run. The Stingrays have it. Judd Greenaway with the takeaway. I don't know what the Raptors planned there, but it certainly was not that.
Clearly a miscommunication. Silva just goes the wrong way.
There's no one there.
James is expecting Silva to be to his right. They're just going to run a little QB option, and he tosses it to no one.
The invisible man in the backfield.
Massive play.
Judd Greenaway with the takeaway, defensive captain. He has a basketball background, but clearly has an eye for taking things off the turf when they present themselves. Silva did well to try and get back, and the tackle finally made by Luke James as well as Silva. Huge turnover. Stingrays back on offense. That's not what they need. High snap. This might be another turnover. Players diving. Raptors have it. The Raptors have won the ball back.
The football gods giveth and the football gods taketh away, Kate, on that one. All the Raptors lose is a little bit of time in the grand scheme of things.
A turnover and then followed by another turnover. Raptors end up pretty much where they started and handed the ball over. Luke James is breathing a sigh of relief. They could have been punished. Instead, they maintain the lead. 2 minutes 25 on the clock, and they continue their run.
And they've really got an opportunity for redemption from that last turnover here, Kate. So we'll see what Luke and Lorenzo do in the backfield here.
James, this time, handoff is good to Silva. He's not going to rush to throw any rugby passes again soon.
And they can do this, Kate. That's just a halfback dive right up the middle. See if you can make a man miss. The offensive line got a nice push up front. So Silva had already got 4 or 5 yards before he even got hit. They have subbed him out, though, on this play.
I think it's the first rest he's had. 2-minute warning called by the referee. Couple of minutes to either cement their lead or to hand the ball back to the Stingrays. They really want to burn the time here and try to control this game. Silva is off, though. Their number one running. Oh, the pitch backwards, tries it again. This time works out. Toby Joshua finds his way to the edge, beats 2, gets the first down. Great run by Toby Joshua.
And he went right through Taj Mason, who made an absolutely huge shoulder tackle first. Just couldn't quite wrap up. Watch him here. Boom! But he just bounced off it and kept going for positive yards and got the first down. Ooh, we got
2 stiff arms in a row.
And we do have an injured Stingray, it looks like, unfortunately. I can't quite see who it is.
If you're just joining us, this is the Sun Bowl 41, the championship game of American football, Queensland. You're watching the under-18s as the Raptors, defending champions from Moreton Bay, reigning under-18 champs, face off against the Stingrays, who have a legacy that includes 5 Sun Bowl titles. These two sides have played each other so many times in important games over the decades. At the moment, the Raptors reigning champions in the lead, 8-0. The injured player gets a clap off. We hope he's okay.
Yeah, that's Ryan Clayton, their free safety. I think he might have been the recipient of another blow by Toby Joshua. His really physical wide receiver is Joshua. He's making the Stingrays feel every single one of these plays, as is Silva. You wonder if that defense is just going to get worn down over time.
First and 10 Raptors on their way to the end zone after 2 turnovers that have benefited them in the end. They maintain possession, under 2 minutes to go. Great run down the middle by Toby Joshua. He finds a lane and gets within 2 of first down.
Yeah, just a bit of an inside zone here. It was actually the same play that he scored a touchdown on earlier, but he cut back towards the middle instead of going for the outside into the teeth of that defense. I think he must have seen a gap, but it did close pretty quickly by that Stingrays defense. They're just letting the clock run. They don't want to give the Stingrays another opportunity in case they do turn it over.
Totally. Both teams with 2 timeouts. Time ticking. James. Oh, another mistake in the backfield. James has to dive on it. Nearly missed the dive. I think he did have it on the second attempt.
Snaps have hurt both teams now. Buchanan fumbled it on the last drive, and James almost fumbled this one too.
And then when he dove on it there, he almost missed it. Bearing down on him was Jacob Bennett from the Stingrays. Fortunately, James was able to collect the ball.
The clock is running too. They got to hurry up unless they're just content to sit on this and let the clock expire at the end of the first half.
So it looks like they might take a timeout. May even kick here.
Raptors take their second charge timeout.
So Raptors do take their timeout. Your clock on screen is not up to date. We have 8 seconds left on the clock. 8 seconds on the clock. What do you do?
Well, I wonder why they didn't even take the timeout about 30 seconds ago. They were really, really slow walking, getting that next play call in. And maybe they just hadn't decided what they wanted to do yet. But 8 seconds left. I mean, you probably have to go to the air realistically.
This is the earlier play that was followed by another play defining this half. 2 turnovers, 1 from each team, ending up with the Raptors in the same position as they started after Luke James accidentally rugby passed to nobody. Mistakes in the backfield and from the snap have cost this team so far, and though they have not been scored on, I think it's only a matter of time. If these mistakes keep happening, they keep allowing the Stingrays back in.
You really don't want to give the Stingrays more opportunities than they already had. You know that Buchanan's got an arm. He's thrown deep a lot. It would only take 1 or 2 plays to really get them back in this game.
So 8 seconds on the clock in the first half. Under 18 Sun Bowl Championship, a wobbling ball to the sidelines, picked off. The Stingrays have it. Stingrays running down the field. Catch made by Taj Mason of the Stingrays. There is a flag on the play though.
That was a great play by Mason. Once again, reading James. He got a little bit too much air under it, I think, this time, giving the defender time to get over there, make a great play for the ball. I do think they ran out of time, unfortunately.
Yeah. If anything, Mason needed to get right out of bounds or to take a knee and take a timeout, but just not enough time, as you see the end of the first half called by the referee. So it is the defending champions in the under-18s of American football, Queensland, the Moreton Bay Raptors, with a 1-score lead over the Stingrays.
And they've been the more physical team, Kate. They're really making the Stingrays feel every single play. All their running backs, all their receivers are fighting for every extra yard, and that's been the difference maker so far. So the Stingers are going to have to find some way to neutralize a lot of this really, really physical Raptors offense.
They have traded momentum. There's been intensity and big moments so far. Just 1 score on the board by Toby Joshua, who waltzed it into the end zone in the first half. The kind of play you'd expect from the big stage and the kind of game with tight lead that you'd expect from Queensland's premier junior teams. That brings us to halftime in Sun Bowl 40. Don't go anywhere. This championship continues shortly. Queensland trophy on the line for the under-18s.
Shut up and sit down.
Times I bit my tongue, and the taste of blood in my mouth. The faces in the trees with smile and wait. They'd ask me how I'd been since yesterday. In a strange land, I hope found my way back soon. Tracing my steps, I know you've been there too. Wait 1 second.
Welcome back to the Sun Bowl of 2025 under 18s. It is the Moreton Bay Raptors playing the Stingrays, and so far there's only one score in it. Gold Coast Stingrays unable to answer after the Moreton Bay Raptors scored a touchdown with a 2-point conversion. Kate Allman here alongside Jeff McGoodwin in commentary, and it's been a real arm wrestle so far. Neither team able to punish when the other team made a mistake. That has been the theme all game, and it's certainly allowed the Gold Coast Stingrays to stay in this match plenty of time. Moreton Bay Raptors to make their score a little bit bigger and a little bit harder to come back from. But the Stingrays, they are still in the game. 1 half to go, 1 half to determine the champion of 2025. Here's the kickoff. It's gone out of bounds on the full again. Another mistake from the kickoff.
Yeah, you don't want to give the Raptors free field position too, and they'll start this from the 30-yard line. It'd be nice to pin them a little bit deeper if you're the Stingrays, but that does happen. Championship nerves can get the best of any of us, and that's the second one we've seen kicked out of bounds.
So we'll be the Moreton Bay Raptors back on offense, and you've written down your keys to the game. You said earlier, Jeff, that they need to win in the trenches, and how would you score the Moreton Bay Raptors on offense so far on that?
They're a pretty healthy 9 or a 10 out of 10 on that one, Kate. Like they've moved the line of scrimmage on offense so effectively that, I mean, Silva, I don't think he's been touched in the backfield all game. And then on the defensive side, their D-line is the reason the Stingrays have not scored yet. They've got so much pressure on Buchanan when he's trying to get that ball away for the Stingrays. So,
if you're just joining us, it was Toby Joshua, number 11 on Moreton Bay Raptors offense, who scored the sole touchdown of this game. Darius G with the 2-point conversion. That has put them 8 points ahead. And it's Luke James, number 3, their quarterback. Oh no, it's handed off. Toby Joshua nearly missed the snap. In a wildcat formation, he hands off to Lorenzo Silva, who's able to just clean up, but still a loss for the Raptors.
yeah, they've had to make a change at quarterback. It looks like Luke James is hobbling a bit on the sideline, so this is going to be an interesting wrinkle to see how the Raptors perform with essentially a backup quarterback in the game for at least, you know, this drive.
It's Toby Joshua, as I mentioned, was the wide receiver that scored. He's taking the snaps here. And I thought maybe it would just be for the one, but it looks like he is in for this drive. Nearly fumbles it again. Silva able to palm off a man, and now he's on the run. Puts 2 down. The third is going to the turf. Makes his way through. The first down is well behind him. Reaches the 40. Lorenzo Silva, a steam train for the Raptors.
Sometimes it doesn't matter who your quarterback is if you have a running back who can bowl over 4 people in the span of one play. 1, 2, 3, 4. It took 6 Stingrays out of the 11 on defense to have a chance at Silva on that play.
He is some player. Lorenzo Silva, just 16 years old, 2 more years left in his under 18s. They're going to need 11 players to stop him by the time he turns 18. So Joshua, using the weapons that are on his team, instead this time goes around, finds the side himself, and 4 yards before he's taken down.
Yep, that was just a little QB keeper from Josh. Coming back to get the next play, but really good job by that offensive line creating space, because he could have gone for at least another couple yards. He did not get touched until yard 3 past that line of scrimmage. So
he comes to the sideline to receive some instructions and take them back out into the huddle. Toby Joshua, of course, when you are the second quarterback, you haven't had as many opportunities to practice the variations on plays. You might not know the playbook as well. You know it from a wide receiver's point of view, but you have to know everything in the playbook to play quarterback. Short ball left, and that's going to the turf. There's a yellow flag on the play as well.
It's going to be hard for Toby if he hasn't had a lot of reps as well. As a quarterback, your footwork is one of the most important things you have, and if you have not practiced the drop back, where your feet need to be when you're handing off to your big running back, how to get the ball out quickly, this is going to be a challenge for the Raptors unless they just keep handing the ball off. Have to see what the laundry is for, some sort of pre-snap penalty. I think they're trying to decide, maybe they're picking up the flag. So the Stingrays could have pushed the Raptors 5 yards back there, but elected to force the Raptors into this 3rd and long. They basically just accepted the incompletion from Toby on that last play.
So it is 3rd down and 6. Get that updated on your screens at home, but 3rd down here, must convert. Toby Joshua, QB2. He drops the snap, worst possible outcome, has to get rid of it. Jay Redford was putting pressure on, he does make a completion to Darius G. G, what a catch.
He's done nothing but have huge plays for the Raptors on offense and defense so far. A couple big tackles, but on this one, really, Toby, good job getting that ball out. He was about to get clobbered and managed to find his receiver on the far sideline. On a 3rd and long, too, that's a massive play for this Raptors offense.
He was being harangued by Jay Redford, who is able to get to the quarterback 9 times out of 10. Got rid of the ball, Toby Joshua, QB2. Playing really well as QB1. This time a handoff to Silva. Silva has a lane, muscles his way through one, and he just leaves a trail of destruction through the lines, doesn't he?
And I give Taj Mason the credit for that tackle. He went as low as you could possibly go to try to take out Silva's legs. Watch how low he gets, so low. Basically doing a squat on the ground to try to get below Silva on that one, but he managed to get the tackle.
The thing is, you can't get too low because we know Silva can also hurdle players. So we've seen him in the first half taking to the air. He can do it on the ground just as well as he can in the air. 2nd and short here for the Raptors on the march. Joshua, this time a pitch pass. This time Silva's got more room. He just goes straight into the contact. No avoiding it, doesn't matter. Griffin Pepiat slows him down, but not before they move the sticks.
It's becoming evident that you are not going to tackle him with one player, Kate. This Stingrays defense is going to have to be so locked in and communicating so that they're all flowing exactly where the ball is going so that you have more than one player having an attempt to take down Silva.
And look at that, when you're out on your own, what do? Probably the best option is to lower the shoulder and put a big hit on. Try and wrap him up is hard. That snap didn't work out. There are flags on the field. Toby Joshua tries to run it down the middle.
Yeah, I think the center just snapped that a little bit prematurely on that one. It's going to cost him a bit of field position. Lost that yardage that they gained on 1st down.
That's disappointing. Mistakes have really hurt both teams on offense. The Raptors get marched backwards. Still 1st down.
I've got to expect they're going to be feeding their big guy again.
He says, keep feeding me, I keep eating. Lorenzo Silva. He moves back, gives himself a little extra space. Looked for the handoff, didn't give it. I think that's the wrong call there as Toby Joshua is swallowed up by the Stingrays defense.
Yeah, they clearly aren't comfortable with Toby throwing the ball a whole lot, so they're trying to run what's called a triple option there, where he can either toss it to the outside, toss it to the inside guy just to his right, or keep it himself. And in that situation, you know, Silva has not done a whole lot of damage on the outside, so I can see why he wanted to try to cut it back, keep it for himself on the inside. But good job by the Stingrays being ready for that.
Luke James has been warming up his arm on the sideline. I wonder if he's going to be okay. He's limping, but he might come in for a snap or two if they decide to throw in the red zone. 2nd and goal. Raptors looking to go 2 scores up. Shot clock winding down, 1 left. They get the snap away. Handoff, faked first, and then second goes to Benson Meso, who's drilled 5 yards out.
Judd Greenway stayed in his lane on the Stingrays defense there. He broke his shed his first block. You can see him on the outside, number 33. Sheds his first block, managed to stay in his lane, get the first contact, and allow the rest of his teammates to finish off that tackle. Good job by Captain Greenaway.
Meso, the wide receiver, making a couple of yards. 3rd and goal. They're 5 out from the end zone. This feels like a really important play. Score on this drive, they go 2 scores up. Oh, there's a false start. It looks like it's going to be a free play for the quarterback. Wobbling ball, and it's dropped. It was really there and a gettable, catchable ball for Darius G, but it lands incomplete. I think this is a free play though, Jeff.
Yeah, and what happens is if the defensive line crosses the line of scrimmage but doesn't touch anyone, it's called a free play because the offense can still try to get a pass off. And that's what a lot of quarterbacks do in that situation is they just chuck it deep because the worst case scenario is you accept the penalty on the defense.
So they place the ball half the distance to the goal, which is just over 2 yards out. And you know what that probably means. They've got about 3 men lined up in the backfield, and the last one there is Lorenzo Silva. Big play coming up. Silva has it in his arms, gets through the first man, and he's fallen over into the end zone. Raptors go up by 2 scores. Touchdown, Lorenzo Silva.
When in doubt, feed it to the big boy. I do think they're going to take a look at this as it's a scoring play. Want to make sure the knee isn't down.
I think the ball had crossed the plane, and by the looks of the referees in the video review, that will be confirmed.
And give Griffin Pepiot another shout out. He and Silva have been battling, absolutely battling this entire game to see who can come out on top. And he's gotten low. Oh.
Snap no good. Just has to fall on it, and that's points left on the board for the Raptors. Another mistake. Nevertheless, they've got 2 touchdowns, and that's what counts. The Raptors go up 14-0 in this Sun Bowl.
And it's been forever since we've seen the Stingrays offense. The Raptors had a nice long drive to close out the first half and then had a nice long drive to start this half. So if nothing else, the Stingrays offense should be rested. Hopefully they've put together a bit of a game plan to adjust to this really strong defensive line performance by the Raptors.
Well, the Raptors, who are the reigning champions, they were the minor premiers through the season, and they just look the stronger team at the moment, Jeff. Stingrays have had a number of opportunities to burn them when they made mistakes, and they didn't, and that's going to cost them in the long run.
I'm really interested to see what they do with quarterback Kane Buchanan. Thus far in the game, he has basically either thrown it deep or handed the ball off. There hasn't been a lot of in between, so I really would like to see them try to neutralize this defensive line with something that isn't just throwing deep, because they haven't had a ton of success thus far, Kate. So either the receivers are going to have to make some plays or they're going to have to adjust.
Here's the kick. Spinning ball on its end like a tabletop. Received and brought back to the 25 and finally stops. The return there by Emmanuel Sami.
Yep, as they're starting running back, it's a pretty good return. Not as good as it would have been if he kicked out of bounds, but that's okay. We'll see what the Stingrays can do now. And I think Buchanan's not going out there. I think it's Ashley Hearn once again.
So Ashley Hearn, their QB1, had very few snaps in the first half. Looks like they might even be sharing the game as Kane Buchanan was quarterback for the first half.
Yeah, and Buchanan's in the medical tent over there on the other side.
So here's Ashley Hearn. A throw first, and he's got to make one man miss. He does so. And he's still on his way. Eden Wrigley to the house. Wriggles his way through the defense and scores for the Stingrays.
We'll have to see if he stayed in bound, Kate, but what a play. What a response by the Stingrays.
Elusive as they come. This step to beat the first man, and then he just had to go off to the races all the way down, climb the ladder of the sideline. Looks like he did stay in bounds to our eye. And that has been confirmed by the referee. Video referee Tim Redshaw says all good. Stingrays are right back in this game. Looks like they're going to go for two. A 2-point play here to get within one touchdown. Hearn, high snap, wrangles it in, lost the ball over, an easy catch, pitch and catch to Jay Redford. Successful on the 2-point conversion.
Just running that inside slant, great thing to do in short yardage because the defender won't have a ton of space to work with. Watch him come up, cut underneath. Good throw, good catch. Stingrays are back in the game, Kate. Fantastic to see.
One explosive play by Eden Wrigley. Gets them right back in it, the Stingrays. What a response after the touchdown by the Raptors.
You see such a different matchup in styles, right? The Raptors methodically work their way down the field, try to establish the run, whereas the Stingrays has been basically hit or miss on some of their big plays, and they absolutely hit on that one. Great job by Eden Wrigley to get out of that first missed tackle.
2-point exclamation mark, good by Joe Redford. One-score game, under 18 Sun Bowl. And Redford to kick off. Ball bounding along the grass. It's our favourite, Lorenzo Silva, to return. Silva.
Fumble. It's out.
He's dropped it. There's a flag on the play, but it looks like the Stingrays have it. Emmanuel Sami comes up with the ball.
It might have paid off for the Stingrays here because they had tried to kick it deep, and this time Redford just kind of kicked a squibber along the ground, and Silva picked it up, but it comes out. There it is. Number 21 forced that tackle. Jacob Grant forced the fumble.
What a play by Jacob Grant. It's so uncharacteristic. You see Lorenzo Silva hanging his head because he has been so good with ball security for the rest of the match.
I mentioned the Stingrays do a really good job coaching that, aiming for that football, trying to punch it out. Fantastic job by Jacob Grant there to make a huge play. All the momentum is back with the Stingrays now for the first time really all game.
Huge momentum swing. The Gold Coast Stingrays, 5-time Sun Bowl champions, coming after the reigning champions. They've scored once, and now in quick succession they get a turnover. So the ball is back with Luke James. James, end over end throw. Had to get rid of it before the pressure came and couldn't get to his receiver.
Yeah, there was number 51, Rashad Nagaya, getting into the backfield and putting a lot of pressure on Ashley Hearn there. I think he's the one who tipped the ball.
Yeah, my apologies. Of course, it was Ashley Hearn. Both quarterbacks wear number 3. But there is a flag that gives them 5 yards. So Ashley Hearn out of a jam.
Well, they're going to get him flagged for a late hit on the quarterback. So it's a personal foul. Unfortunately, after he tipped that ball, he just kept going and barreling into the quarterback. So now the Stingrays gifted with even better field position.
Ashley Hearn with a 1st and 10 at the 25. Better snap this time. He wants long. He wants it all. And he's got it. Kundai Munyenyiwa. 1 yard shy of the end zone. But the catch made. First down, Stingrays.
You see why Ashley Hearn has the reputation he does and why he's won Stingrays MVP, why he's been offensive MVP multiple times for this club. He's been a difference maker since he's gotten the ball this quarter. Now they've got a very manageable 1st and goal from the 2-yard line.
Stingrays looking to go 2 from 2 attempts at the end zone. Hearn being chased, gets around the edge. Oh, he stopped short. The hands have gone up. He was stopped, but I reckon he reached out. They've called it a touchdown, Jeff. Touchdown on the field.
Let's watch the second effort here by Hearn. This was all him. Great recovery, first of all, to even handle that snap. Worked his way around, takes the pop, reaches over, I think, before the knees are down.
I reckon the knee was down almost simultaneously. Hard to overturn that, of course. You have to be conclusive with the evidence.
I think Hearn's hurt, too. He's down on the side.
He was stopped really sharp, wasn't he? The block. His knee did go down. I'm not sure whether he was reaching out at that time or he had it tucked at this moment here. Knee is down and he reaches late. He may have been over the line. It looks like he's 2 yards short here when the knee comes down.
It's not down yet. It's not down yet.
It didn't go down. He had a man under him, you reckon?
That's an unbelievable effort by Hearn there to keep that knee off the ground. I do think he pulled up a bit lame on the play, though. He got pretty well clocked.
Well, the video judge has confirmed there is nothing to overturn. Looks like the touchdown will stand. We'll take another look just for safekeeping. Really great work to keep this play alive by Ashley Hearn. Turned the Jets on, but I think you're right. The knee didn't quite get down. He managed to stay up on top of the tackling player.
He took a beating, but that was a fantastic second effort by Hearn there.
So this to go up for the first time into the lead in the Sun Bowl. The Gold Coast Stingrays. The drop back, the catch. Jay Redford couldn't hold on. Pressure really came fast by Salmalu. We are all tied up here.
There is a flag on the play, though. Yeah, they'll decline it.
So the Stingrays unable to convert. It is 14-all in the third quarter.
They've got all the momentum right now. You've got to give it up for Ashley Hearn. One of the captains has made a fantastic play to get that second touchdown. He'd already hit on the long touchdown to Eden Wrigley. All the momentum's with the Stingrays right now. I think the Raptors might be in shock. We'll really have to see how they respond on offense now. And let's give Jacob Grant an assist on that one, since he's the one who forced the fumble on Silva on the kickoff to flip the field and get the Stingrays the ball back.
Kickoff long and into the end zone over the back. They'll restart at the 20.
Probably a good idea to kick it over Silva. You don't want to give him the ball with a full head of steam in most situations.
Lorenzo Silva, the running back who has been playing the returner, 16 years old, and has been an absolute thrill to watch so far. In the first half, if you missed it, go back and watch it. The highlights, he will be replaying again and again, I'm sure of it. He hurdled a man. He has been barreling through player after player. Takes about 6 to 8 people to bring him down, we reckon.
At least.
Here are the Moreton Bay Raptors back on offense, but they can't get things going as the Gold Coast Stingrays want to take a timeout first. Interesting time to take a timeout, Jeff. What do you think they're going to be discussing?
I think they either weren't aligned properly or they just did not have the right personnel on the field for what the Raptors are showing. Because on a first down after a kickoff, yeah, I would normally expect the team to be pretty well set there. So maybe they just want to talk about it, see how they can maintain the momentum. And frankly, I think this helps the Raptors. It just gives them an extra time to take a breath, time to relax, remember what they've been doing well, which is establishing the line of scrimmage and handing it off to their big boys.
Raptors coaches on screen there. T. Suchun, Lafai Tolai, Todd Eastwood, and Hayden Davis. Club established way back in 2013. They have 110 players across their 5 teams, the Raptors. As you've said, they are building through this juniors program, and soon, I think, as these grow up, these players will have contenders in the seniors. So you've told us your keys to the game for the Raptors offense. What about the Stingrays? What do they need to do? They have made it a very tight game, 14-all.
Well, at this point, they just don't want to shoot themselves in the foot, right? So the Raptors have done a really good job establishing the line of scrimmage, so don't give them any extra yards with penalties, and I think they'll have a good chance. But also defensively, they got to swarm to the football. They have to be able to hit Silva with more than one player at a time.
Joshua back at quarterback, goes to his second man. It's handed off to Benson Meso, pitched off, flag on the play. They're trying to rip it out of his hands, and he wouldn't give the ball back.
It was a great job by Judd Greenaway, another Stingrays captain, staying in his lane, getting to the outside, and making that first contact about 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I have to see what the flag's for, though. So this is not quite the tush-push leagues, Kate, and so you can't really help your runner like you can in the professional leagues. So they're going to penalize the Raptors on that one, and they're starting even further back now.
Gee, this really helps the Stingrays, doesn't it? It feels like all the momentum of the second half has been with the blue shirts.
And the Raptors have not hit on a lot of deep passes. They've hit 1 or 2, but with their starting quarterback out to be at 1st and 25, that's a lot for any offense that relies on a run-heavy scheme. Have to see if they can sprinkle in something just to get a little bit of that yardage back on first down.
So Raptors called to go 1st and 25. What can Toby Joshua conjure up? Snap was good for the first time in a long time. Benson Meso had it and lost it, spent it before he had it. He really wanted to turn upfield and go with that ball. Just dropped it, so an incompletion makes it 2nd and 25.
I'd love to see the replay there. I think Griffin Pepiot even gets a bit of a hand on it after the contact. Yep, he chops at it. Distracted the receiver enough. Good job by number 23, a captain for the Stingrays. Their biggest players and their leaders are making the biggest plays of this game right now.
It's a great call by you, Jeff. In fact, Pepiot did get a hand to it. And Benson Meso unable to do anything with it. So 2nd down. Crowd getting lively. Fake the handoff, RPO goes to the air, and the catch is missed. This is not what the Raptors need. Luke James had it through the hands, it slips out of bounds.
He's a big target. I like the play call. It would have gotten them a lot of yardage back on that out route. Unfortunately, just a little bit too tall for a very tall player.
Well, it hit the gloves, and I often think if it hits your gloves, it's a catchable ball. Whether he would have stayed in bounds is another question. This forces 3rd and very long for the Raptors. Stingrays doing so well on defense now.
Well, we'll give Luke a pass on that play. He's got a rugby league background, and normally you don't have to go up so high to make those type of catches in rugby league, Kate, so hopefully they'll get another opportunity.
Oh, it's a bad snap. Has to chase it down. Toby Joshua heaves it out of bounds. No receivers anywhere in the area, and a flag does come out on the play.
This very well could be a disaster because he threw it so far away from any receiver. This would be intentional grounding, which is going to be half the distance to the goal and a loss of down if they accept it, which would put them in 4th and 30.
Very close to their own end zone as well.
It was a good job corralling the ball. We got to give Luke credit. I know he doesn't play a lot of quarterback. Oh, because it was in the end zone. That's a safety. It's not half the distance.
I thought that might be the case, Jeff. That is even bigger of a disaster than you and I predicted. 2 points on the board for the Stingrays. They were chasing it the whole time, and they finally have it. They take the lead, the Stingrays. What a play.
And what we've seen, Kate, is both of these teams have had troubles corralling the snap on a couple of occasions. And the Stingrays have lost the ball that way. Really cost the Raptors here with Luke just fumbling that a little bit. And once he recovered, tried to get the ball away. There just wasn't anyone there, and it's cost his team 2 points. And now they've got to essentially punt from their own 20-yard line.
Having Toby Joshua in their QB2 has really rattled things, I think, as well. He's just got less control. That snap was high regardless. Huge mistake.
Yeah, you wonder how Luke is feeling on the sidelines if he's getting some extra work done to try to loosen up that ankle, see if he can't get back out there. But really, it was the penalty on first down that set them that far back, that personal foul to assist the running back.
Here's the punt. Kelly Kasulki lobs one, it bounces, and it's going to be returned. Here comes the return by the Stingrays, muscled down, and a flag comes out. Kundai Munyanyiwa copped a big elbow on his way to the turf at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that was big number 6, Iverson Salmalu. Did not want to let Kundai get past him, and he managed to lay the boom. I just don't know if it was maybe a little too high.
Head-to-head collision there. I think the helmet clash potentially.
Not what the flag was for. They actually flagged another Stingrays player for a block in the back. So always a risk on kick returns. You see that quite frequently. And that's going to cost the Stingrays quite a bit of field position because it's a spot foul. So wherever that penalty happened, they got to go 10 yards back from that.
So all of that return reduced to nothing. Ball goes back to the 22, and that is where the Stingrays will start their offense. For the first time, they are in the lead in this Sun Bowl. Ashley Hearn, incompletion. Chased down there by Kobe Taurua Tehuia.
He made a great play. He tipped that ball, got his hands up. Once he saw that Hearn was rearing back to sling it, you'll see here. Whoop, gets his hands up, gets a deflection, incompletion. Great job of the DN there.
17-year-old product of rugby league as well, Sunshine Coast Rugby League. Kobe Taurua Tehuia. Look out for him on defense.
A very smart play to get his hands up there.
So Hearn chased out, finds his way through the middle, does really well to, oh, he's dropped it! It's taken out by the Raptors. The Raptors have it, and guess who? Kobe Taurua Tehuia. Turnover, Raptors, but there is a flag on the play.
Be curious to see where the flag comes. If it's before the turnover, then the Stingrays will keep the ball. If it's after the turnover, might impact where the Raptors have it.
Here's another look at it. For a second, you thought Ashley Hearn was out through the middle. Kobe Taurua Tehuia is there.
I think it was Kai James Phipps, too, their defensive end, who made the hit on Hearn as Hearn was trying to cut upfield. That really shook it loose.
So the offense for the Raptors is coming out. They uphold that A huge play. Well, that's exactly what the Raptors need to get back in this game. All the momentum was with the Stingrays. That has turned things around here. Enough time to take another lead as well. Plenty of time, 1 quarter to go, 2:56 in the third.
I think we might be having another look at the replay. All right, they're going to take a look at this on replay. Don't know if they're trying to see maybe where exactly the ball was down, or it could be Hearn if his knee was down before that ball came out. That'll be what the officials will be trying to look for here on the replay. So he cuts up field, gets hit from behind.
I think he dropped it before his knee was down.
I think you're right, Hit. I think it was the hit from behind by Phipps that jarred it loose, because Hearn was not expecting it.
He has both hands out as he drops to the ground. The ball was loose as he fell, and then it's picked up. Video judge is confirming it was definitely a fumble. You can see his both hands go out to the turf. Lost control of it on the way down.
And was it before the knee hit the ground?
The first one, I think, certainly a fumble. There's the knee down very
it's
late.
out.
They are going to look at the second fumble, though. Apparently there was a fumble at the end of the play. As Tehuia tried to take it to the house, and then it was picked up by Sami. He reckons he was down, though, Tehuia. We, in live action, certainly thought that was the case.
Yeah, I didn't even see the ball go out. And
Yeah.
Kobe, to be fair, probably not used to carrying the ball a whole lot. We'll see if we can get another look at it.
Sideline judge is clearly pointing it is the Raptors ball. He's down there and loses it as he rolls over.
Yeah, it could have been a situation, the ground causing the fumble on his way down as maybe the elbow hit.
So here he goes down and then rolls over, and I think that's where he loses the ball. Has to be conclusive evidence to turn over the call on the field, and I think that the call on the field was the Raptors ball. You decide at home. Is this a fumble? Is he down? Not a clear view, not a great view from our camera angles, but the best we've got.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty inconclusive, and without clear evidence, this will stay with the Raptors.
So there you go. Moreton Bay Raptors offense come back out onto the field. 2 points behind with an opportunity to get 6 in the red zone, thanks to an incredible turnover and a great play by Kobe Taurua Tehuia, the rugby league convert.
And Hearn on that play, he started feeling the pressure from the defensive line, tried to cut up field, but it was Phipps coming on the backside to jar that ball loose, and Kobe being Johnny on the spot, picking up that ball and doing something for his Raptors team.
Joshua back in at quarterback. Silva gets the
Ball's out!
Oh, ball is out again. Another turnover. Stingrays have it. Silva with his second drop of the game. An incredible play. Taj Mason comes up with it.
And you can see what the Raptors are trying to do. They put their quarterback under center to try to reduce the possibility of fumbling the snap, and really it was just a perfectly timed hit on Silva by Taj there.
This is becoming a defensive battle. Who can knock the ball out more than the other team? Multiple turnovers, multiple fumbled balls. Stingrays get it back, and they stop the bloodletting by the Raptors. Before they can make any damage done, Stingrays get it back.
And look who's back at quarterback. Kane Buchanan must be feeling all right.
So Buchanan, forced out of the pocket, goes to his left, throws long. That's a great ball, Jay Redford. What a catch.
I think it's coming back though, Kate. There's laundry on the field. I think you'll see Ahulele on this. Watch him. He's going to get blocked and held there.
I think you're right. There was a hand on his back. There's a beautiful ball nonetheless, and Jay Redford, who climbed the ladder and got it. I think it is coming back, and that is exactly what's happening here. Jay Redford is disappointed.
Normally Buchanan doesn't have that kind of time, Kate. We've seen that from the Raptors defensive line. They got in there, and unfortunately for the Stingrays, they just happened to hold him a little bit too long and in front of the referee. So it's going to be up to them to work back on a 1st and 16, I think.
Ahulele, the 17-year-old, he is a rookie as well, and he has had so much impact, the defensive tackle. Just muscling through the O-line, but this time Sami gets out, and he gets to the first down with that run. But just shy, in fact, they're going to stop him short.
Great cutback here by Sami. He had to make someone miss in the backfield. I couldn't quite tell which defensive lineman it was, but he makes someone miss straight away and manages to cut upfield. Whoop.
He's got wheels, Sami. Doesn't need a lot of room to get the accelerators going.
Oh, they're getting the first down. All right, first down Stingrays.
So 1st and 10, Stingrays at the 20. Buchanan at quarterback, the 14-year-old, with an arm that should be an 18-year-old. Flip pass, he gets to his other quarterback, Hearn. Hearn on the run, he can move. Hearn misses one tackle, and a second, gets all the way to the 40. Ashley Hearn, what a run. That's a 20-yard run, Jeff, by the second quarterback.
This is what happens when you have 2 quarterbacks. You can be so flexible with your offense here. Because watch, he just gives it the toss, and I think Hearn had the option here to either throw it or run it, and he just saw nothing but green in front of him and managed to have a huge gain for the Stingrays.
Finally taken down. He did really well at evading the first tackle.
Well, one team has 2 quarterbacks, and the other is 0 right now, Kate, so you might as well use them if you got them.
Shadow coming over the field now is going to make things difficult for receivers, coming from light to dark and vice versa.
I think the Raptors are challenging that. I'm not sure what there is to challenge. Maybe this final spot?
Face mask. They think that there was going to have a look at this with our video judge.
I think it was early on. You're going to see one of the Stingrays' offensive players get a little bit of hand on helmet, but I don't know if it's face mask. 33. I think let's watch 33 here. On the cutback.
Our camera doesn't show the close-up angle. It didn't seem to impede the run of number 10, Tehuya. Hand on the side of the helmet.
Yeah, we'll have to watch Greenway there. He definitely got some hand on helmet. I just couldn't tell if he got fingers into the face mask there. Right there.
It was a very quick bit of contact. If he got his fingers in, he got them out very quickly. It's difficult to see the head being dragged around at all.
And I think you're right, Kate. Kobe just kept going, so it clearly didn't affect him at all. whatever contact there was made of hand to helmet there.
You have to get some fingers looped in there to really call that face mask. And, of course, an open palm on the head is fine.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they've called it here. They have confirmed the call.
He must have felt that he was grabbed and hit in the face, which is why he got his coach to really get involved there. But either way, huge play for the Stingrays. First down in Raptors territory again.
So Raptors use a challenge unsuccessfully. Stingrays with all the momentum behind them. Into their attacking end. Kane Buchanan at quarterback. Drops back. Ball through the air. Can't get to his man. Jacob Grant, the wide receiver.
Tough play. Buchanan throwing off his back foot there because guess who happened to be waiting in his face, Kate? It was Ahalele again.
He's such a big interrupting target, isn't he? Ahalele getting hands all up in the face of the quarterback.
And Kane got it out quickly. He wasn't taking his time back there. He's got a cannon, but just couldn't quite get it with that pressure in his face.
Just over a minute left in the third. Buchanan with the drop back. What a rocket that is! Jay Redford, did he keep it off the ground? Side judge says yes.
Back judge says yes too.
Video judge is coming in to take a second look. Jay Redford caught at the 15. If this is upheld.
They had trips on the right side, a nice combination route. Buchanan saw what he liked, got it out there, was feeling a little bit of pressure once again. See if he gets an arm under it.
Oh, did it touch the ground and bounce back up into his chest?
I think it might have just gone between his lower forearms,
That's
unfortunately.
not a great angle, the blur there. It looks incomplete from this angle. Well, the play continued nevertheless, so on-field call upheld. That was a catch. Jay Redford moves them all the way up to the red zone. They're 2nd and 10.
And they managed to get a quick 5 yards before the replay judge could have a look. So we'll give the Stingrays credit for moving their offense quickly before they had an opportunity to really take a good look at that last play.
I think they got very lucky there. By our eyes, it looked like an incomplete pass.
Sometimes it is better to be lucky than good, Kate. We'll see if they can take advantage.
Kane Buchanan with Ashley Hearn, his other quarterback, in motion. He's looking for Hearn. Hearn, it's too high, but he gets another man. Munyanyiwa. Touchdown, Stingrays.
And what a pass. What a pass from Buchanan into coverage. That was such a risky throw across his body. Absolute dart to Kundai. Huge play from Buchanan. That's his first touchdown pass of the day. The previous couple drives it was Hearn leading the team to the scores. You've got to imagine that's good for his confidence from the rest of the way here.
After throwing the pick early in the game, Kane Buchanan comes back with that. 22-14. Stingrays cementing their lead. They want 2 here. A 2-point conversion on offer. High snap, no problem. Buchanan doubles down to Munyanyiwa. It is 24-14, a 10-point lead to the Stingrays.
Yeah, he just runs a nice dig route, basically from the outside, cuts underneath. Perfect depth because he caught that and he was a yard deep in the end zone. Wanted to make sure that he didn't catch it short of the goal line. Huge play for the Stingrays.
What a rocket arm by Kane Buchanan. Drilled both of those balls, and it was no problem for Munyanyiwa to handle. 2-score game now, a 2-score lead for the Stingrays, who were at a deficit at halftime. They want this championship. It has been the Moreton Bay Raptors game for the past couple of years. They are the reigning champions, the Raptors. And the Stingrays, the upstart, want to take it back this year.
And look, there's still plenty of time in the third quarter for them, Kate. Does that go out of bounds? Nope. So they'll get a start at the 20, but you got to imagine the Raptors, they've just gotten punched in the mouth a couple times by the Stingrays. In the first half, it was the Raptors doing the punching. Let's see if they can find what made them successful in the first half, reestablish that line of scrimmage, and most importantly, don't put the ball on the ground.
Do not put the ball on the ground. We've seen it on the ground multiple times, and that's really been the game changer. All of these turnovers. The turnover, the previous one leading to a score by the Stingrays when the Raptors were in the red zone. It could easily be flipped. This score could easily be Raptors 24, Stingrays 14. So here they go with their favourite play, handoff to the big man Silva, who gains a few yards. Their run game has been the most solid of all their attacks so far, and they go to that first.
I'd probably take that as a win for the Stingrays defense to only allow 4 yards on first down to Silva. Because if you're the Raptors, you're just going to keep feeding him. That's where your strength is. In the trenches, up front.
Joshua, this time takes to the air. Oh, no, it's picked off again. Redford. Jay Redford has it, and he's moving down the sideline at pace, still in bounds. He's finally taken down at the 10. Yet another pick and turnover. This game is absolutely wild, but the Stingrays coming out on top.
And we do have a Stingrays player down, unfortunately. Just threw it a bit too high, unfortunately. Toby Joshua, and this is the unfortunate thing when you do have a backup quarterback in there. Feels a little bit of pressure, tried to sling it, a little bit too tall for Benson Masseau, and a fantastic play by the Stingrays defense.
They have a chance to really seal it here. Go up by 3 scores and you make it very hard in one quarter to come back the way the Raptors have been playing. A lot of run, a lot of on the ground, slow grinding football. It takes a long time to score with that kind of game plan.
And Jay Redford's been Johnny on the spot a couple times throughout the game today. That easily his biggest play of the day. Coming back from that earlier injury, remember we saw him go off with the ankle injury, but that ankle is clearly fine because he was making people miss on that interception return.
He absolutely was slaloming down the sideline. It looks like there is a Stingray that got injured. Hudson Schultz, a 15-year-old. A national thrower at shot put and hammer, I'm told, went down on the play.
He's a big, strong boy, and I'm sure he will be fine all in due time. Another big play for that Stingrays defense. How did the Raptors respond?
Well, they need a huge play and probably a takeaway on defense as well. So Stingrays back on offense. A handoff to Sami to start things off. He is brought down, but not before gaining 4 yards.
I think that's the end of the quarter. Yep.
3 quarters down, 1 to go in this American Football Queensland Under-18 Championship. And what has been a defensive arm wrestle, turnovers, really the headline of the game so far. The Stingrays find themselves on top at 3-quarter time. They lead 24-14 as they change ends. Jeff, is this the way that you would have scripted it?
Well, what a third quarter, Kate. It was 8-0 Raptors at half, so we had 30 points scored in the third quarter. The amount of momentum swings left and right, touchdowns, forced fumbles, interceptions, really just a wild emotional roller coaster for both teams. So I think the fourth quarter, this will give everyone a chance to reset and think about what they've done well. And if I'm the Stingrays, I've got the ball. I've got a 10-point lead. I'm probably not taking any more shots. I'm going to see what I can do, try to run the ball, try to grind down this Raptors defense, take a lot of time off the clock, or just score 6 straight away.
So Stingrays on offense, this time driving into the sunny end, probably helps them out here. Kane Buchanan at quarterback, pitch pass to Sami on the left edge. And he's taken down with a short gain. They'll be 2nd and 2.
Late flag as well. That was Denver Eastwood making the tackle. Good job not selling out on the fake, staying in his lane, making sure that he can get there for that reverse tackle.
Referees are going to discuss this on the field.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. Oh, I think it's a face mask on the defense.
There you go.
Automatic first down, half the distance to the goal. The last thing you want if you're that Raptors defense right now, Kate.
And we said it before three-quarter time. I'll say it again here. This could be the score and the game winner. If they score here, the Stingrays go up by 3 scores. The Raptors a long way to come back from, given they've only scored 2 times in this entire game.
Yeah,
Raptors sideline are on their feet.
Stingrays might just go for the jugular here.
Buchanan to the air. Jay Redford has it. He's brought down at the 2. There is a flag on this play. Great catch, though, by Jay Redford above the head.
Yeah, and that flag was thrown pretty early, so I'm wondering if there isn't some sort of offsides on the offense. Not necessarily a false start, but like a lining up offsides. Maybe a lineman downfield. That's the other option. You see that a lot of times where on a pass play, a lineman will start drifting a little bit. Yep, that's an ineligible man downfield. So I think one of the Stingrays' offensive linemen must have been playing to the run and trying to lurch forward. But when you do that on a pass play, if you're crossing the line of scrimmage, that's a penalty, because you essentially are making yourself an eligible receiver, and you can't do that as an offensive lineman.
So that sends them backwards, the Stingrays, not what they needed after that beautiful catch by Jay Redford, who has showed up in this second half just when they need him. So first down in the red zone again for Buchanan. Buchanan fires a rocket. It's nearly picked off by Max Lawrence on the defense. Couldn't connect. He was looking for Ashley Hearn there, Buchanan.
The quarterback-to-quarterback combination for the Stingrays. It's worked well a couple times throughout the game today, but unfortunately they couldn't connect there. It looked like it slipped out of his hands a little bit too, Kate.
A little too far ahead and a little low for Ashley Hearn to grab.
They got another opportunity, though.
Second down and goal. Handoff. Sami is met in the backfield and delivered to the turf by your man, Aholele.
He's been a disruptive force the entire game, and he read that really well, shed his first block, got into the backfield, and now the Stingrays are backing up. They had first and goal from the 5-yard line, and now they've just gone -10 in 2 plays.
This Sun Bowl will be defined by defensive plays. And despite the scores that have been made, the moments that have changed the game have been made by defenses, turnovers, and backed up offenses. 3rd and very long here for Kane Buchanan. He's got trips left. He's going to have to go to one of them, but he goes right instead. Jay Redford was there. He turned around, and they are not on the same page, those two.
Think about what the Raptors just accomplished. First and goal from the 5-yard line. They have now successfully held that Stingrays offense and they're forcing them into a 4th and 15. I would imagine the Stingrays would kick it if they trust their kicker. Looks like they're going to go for it, though. This could be a huge stop for that Raptors defense after everything they've gone through.
Well, they want to get a 3rd score on the board. This would put them up by 3 and really an unassailable lead. Buchanan, a rocket fired to the end zone. Redford climbed the ladder, caught it, came down with it. Was he stopped short? Signal has not gone up. Oh no, he was stopped short by the looks of things. I wonder if they'll review this because I thought he had held it over to break the plane. Here it is.
And that's Kundai. Look how high he got to make that catch.
Oh, wow.
Foot down at the 1. Did he get across? Oh, I think he was just short. I think the elbow hit just short of the goal line.
Was he holding it over the line there? I don't think there's a video review being called for.
Well, there's a flag on the play as well, so we'll have to see what the laundry's for, Kate. What a catch, though, regardless. Kundai has made some absolutely outstanding catches today. It's one of the reasons Stingrays have been so successful through the air as they have been. Interesting. So what the Raptors just did, it's a 15-yard holding penalty, but they declined it. So they could have forced the Stingrays into a 4th and 25, or they could have declined it and just gotten the ball straight away. But from the 1-yard line.
Wow.
This is a sign that they trust their offense to be able to move away from the end zone straight away, or else you don't decline that penalty. And maybe they just didn't want Buchanan to have another shot at the end zone, which I can understand as well.
I can totally understand that. This is big trust in your offense. It's Toby Joshua back in at quarterback, QB2. Luke James, QB1, is injured. Backup has to make something happen. Handoff is good, and Silva can muscle his way to the first down. Of course he can. No problem. Why do we even question it?
And this is why you decline that penalty and you just take the ball, because you trust your big burly running back who's made so many Stingrays feel the pop of his power throughout the day. Plenty of time for the Raptors. That was a huge stop, huge 4th down stop for them.
So 1st and 10 once more. Joshua. Handoff again. Silva, he can get 10 yards at a time. Why not give it to him? He's going to get 10 and some. 15, 18 yards. They're at the 35.
It's a very simple formula for the Raptors at this point. Own the line of scrimmage, get it to your biggest, best running back, and for Silva, as long as he holds on to the ball, he knows he can move forward every single play.
Unreal.
Now, at some point, this ball control possession offense might need to speed it up a little bit, but for now, there's certainly enough time in the game where they can just keep going to this well if they need to.
1st and 10. This time uses Silva as a blocker. He keeps it, the quarterback, Toby Joshua. And finally, a rugby scrum brings him down. That's an 8-yard gain, though.
Love the play design. You've just fed Silva twice in a row. He's done really well on the ground. Use him as the blocker. Trust your quarterback to follow that lead blocker, but I do think they're going to get penalty for holding on the Raptors. So shoot themselves in the foot.
It's the mistakes that have really cost them. The Moreton Bay Raptors, they have all the pieces. It's the fumbles, the drops, the bad snaps.
And the 1st down penalties, too, because you just start off in a deficit. You're just getting momentum as an offense, moving that ball forward, and to immediately have to, work twice as hard just to go the same distance. It's really unfortunate for the Raptors on that 1st down play.
So they're backed up. 1st and 20 here. Crowd getting really involved. They know what it means. 8 minutes left in the Sun Bowl. 8 minutes to get back in this game for the Raptors. The handoff faked. They go to the air. Wobbler. And it's through the hands. Dropped. Can't hold on. Raptors unable to make it happen.
I think that's his tall tight end once again, just getting it a little bit too high for him. Elevates for it. It did hit him in the hands. Got to make the catch in the Sun Bowl.
Sun is in his eyes as well there.
Which can be a genuine distraction. As someone who played receiver growing up, that ball gets in the sun, it can be very difficult to locate. But now a 2nd and long.
What do they do here?
Well, they haven't had a lot of success through the air. They've had a lot of success through the ground, but what do we have, timeout? Yeah. I think the Raptors want to talk about it here. And Silva looks like he's a little bit slow, a little bit limpy.
So the Raptors, you said they need to control the line of scrimmage and win in the trenches. They've been doing that, but they've been making mistakes as well. Do you change your game plan now at all, Jeff, with the time left on the clock and the score situation here?
Look, with 8 minutes, you can still get a lot of work done on the ground, but I do think between plays, they're going to have to be a little bit faster. Getting the play call in, getting organized, not having to spend timeouts like they are right now. Because there's still plenty of time in this ball game. I mean, both teams have shown a propensity for making mistakes. So if they can get a score here, they can certainly stop the Stingrays on the next possession and have another opportunity to take the lead potentially. I do think that the Raptors have struggled to get the ball through the air ever since Luke James went down. So you have to find a way to either keep feeding Silva or use him as a decoy and have someone else run.
It's a great call by you, Jeff McGoodwin. The man from Michigan has coached here in Queensland as well as high school overseas in the US. Great to have your brilliant mind on this call with me, Jeff. 2nd and very long for Moreton Bay Raptors. Their QB2 in a world of pain. He's handed it straight over to the defense. The Stingrays, this might be their final dagger. Eden Wrigley, the touchdown scorer, comes up with the pick.
And after that timeout, there was clearly still a miscommunication, Kate. Didn't quite get the ball where it needed to be, and Eden Wrigley, man with the eyes, we know he can catch the ball. He did it earlier for the Stingrays on offense, and is really delivering for them on defense as well now.
It went straight into his hands, didn't it? There was actually no hope of a Raptors player catching that ball. A real miscue. And the crowd loves it. Stingrays coming in as the underdogs, playing the minor premiers. They score on this drive, and I think that seals the deal, Jeff. Here they go. They want to run it down the middle through Sami. That's not going to do it, though. They get marched backwards.
Ahalele says, not so fast, Kate. Stingrays haven't forgotten just how painful it can be trying to run the ball against him.
He has been such an impact player. Defensively, he has been the key. If anyone can stop the Stingrays, he can, and turn things around.
I do think they're going to have to get a turnover, though, at some point soon. I think there was a clock issue, but clock's running again now.
Just under 8 minutes. Clock corrected. Kane Buchanan, the 14-year-old quarterback, to lead his side to a Sun Bowl championship.
He's shown pretty incredible poise, Kate.
Yeah.
At one point, he went down with an injury, managed to come back, had thrown a bad interception early on in the game. But really, once Hearn made those first couple big plays to start the second half and then Buchanan got in, it's like the pressure was off him.
He's been good, hasn't he? Here he goes again. Buchanan with a rocket arm. Oh, Redford went towards the ball and lost it. Almost like he was too aggressive on the catch. He had no one around him. Could have easily let that come to him.
And he's made some good catches. He made a big play on defense just not that long ago, so we know he's got the ability. He might have just taken his eye off the ball briefly. I mean, if the Raptors can stop them again, that would just be an unbelievable series of defensive stands.
It would, wouldn't it? And look, Al-Halele has been able to. Buchanan, great spiraling ball to no man's land. That was 3rd down. Do they go for it here on 4th down?
And I think that might have been another miscommunication because Buchanan was clearly trying to throw it into the corner, but his receiver cut inside. And we saw that with the Raptors earlier in the game, where someone ran a post when they should have been running a corner, and almost resulted in an interception. And Buchanan's lucky there he didn't get intercepted.
So it's 4th and long, a decision to make here. It looks like they're going to stay on the field, the offense. Of course, it takes more time off the clock. If they simply run it, they can take time off, but they want to go to the air and make a score. Al-Halele pushes his way to the backfield. Still, Buchanan's on his feet, has to go really long. A Hail Mary reaches no one. It falls incomplete, and there'll be a turnover on downs.
Well, Buchanan there's lucky he didn't take a sack. If he'd taken a sack, he would have given the Raptors the football in even better field position. So in the end, it's not a massive loss for the Stingrays, but a really good stop for the Raptors. That D-line getting pressure on Buchanan as they've done all day almost forced him into a really, really big mistake.
What a huge, huge turn of events. The Raptors are still in it. Defense comes up big. Al-Halele, the big man with a mission to get to the quarterback. He's been getting there. So they bring out the offense for the Raptors once more. Toby Joshua. The stage is set for a comeback. Can he make it happen? Hand off to Silva. Silva has a big lane down the middle, pushes someone over, tramples the Stingray defender.
Ball came out, though.
Put his feet on the defender.
Yeah, that was Taj Mason, who was right there getting low as he always does. Boom, almost too low.
Oh.
When does the ball come out, though? I think his left knee has already gone down by the time that ball comes out. We'll have to see it again on replay. The Stingrays do swat at the ball, chop at the ball, try to get it out. They've done it successfully to Silva a couple times, so I think they're relying on him to be a little loose with that left arm.
Not really anything there to be able to turn things over, but Toby Joshua makes a play here for the Raptors.
Well, good job by the Raptors. They ran a play pretty quickly before we could get a decent chance to take a look at that on replay. So
they've learned how to do that now, haven't they?
And the Stingrays managed to do it early on in the game as well. So both teams have done a good job beating the speed with which we can look at some of these replays, Kate.
For your benefit at home, Tim Redshaw, our video judge, was in here looking at replays and didn't have enough time to turn anything over. So play goes on, and it is the Raptors offense on the field. Toby Joshua has to put the team on his back. 6 minutes left. That's a little too long, and it was nearly corralled in, but couldn't be caught by Luke Lord.
On his fingertips, he wouldn't have gotten much positive yardage anyway because I think his momentum would have carried him out of bounds pretty quickly. And the benefit is it does stop the clock for the Raptors, and the clock is becoming an enemy for their offense right now. They've been doing a good job getting the next play in pretty quickly over the last half of this drive. That incompletion got them a little more time, settle, set their feet, get ready for the next big one.
2 men in the backfield. Stingrays support getting louder. Handoff was slow, took a long time to unfold. Luke Lord bottled up before he could get back to the line of scrimmage.
And that was Kyan Jacobson. First massive play he's made of the day, and he's one of their captains, so it's really good to see him get in there, get low, and make a big play with Silva out of the game.
The handoff far too slow there, I think, Jeff. If you're coaching that, you've got to be faster.
Yeah, and once again they're taking a really long time to get the next play in. I'm a little worried about how dare we say laissez-faire they are about the whole thing at the moment.
Toby Joshua needs to start running this offense a little more efficiency. As the shadows fall on Totally Workwear Stadium, the opportunity to get this game back is disappearing. Silva muscles his way through for a 5-yard gain. He is their greatest hope.
If he can hang on to the football and if that offensive line can create some running lanes, you know, this could be a one-score game very quickly.
He just bounces off tackles, doesn't he? 3 men in the end up on top of Silva to counterbalance some of that weight.
And Buchanan was there trying to rip it out as well, the quarterback for the Stingrays.
Well, he has turned it over to Silva as well.
4th down, though.
4th and 5 for the Raptors. Joshua makes his way through the middle and gets the first down and some.
Oh, the
he's
ball's out!
dropped it. The ball is out and it's recovered by the Stingrays. Griffin Pepiat has it. The men in blue have it.
But who made the chop on the quarterback? It would have been a huge play for Toby Joshua. On 4th down, already had the first down. Who makes the chop here? Oh, it was Griffin. Griffin Pepiat had the punch on it and the recovery. What an outstanding defensive play for one of the Stingrays' captains.
The video judge is going to check this to see if Pepiat was in when he recovered the ball. He had his knees down and his shoulders, elbows down. Looked like he was in bounds with the elbows down.
Massive play for their captain.
So that play is confirmed. Yet another turnover. And a game that's been defied by defense. Redford catches and throws one defender down. Muscles his way to the boundary. Couple of yards gained.
And if you're the Stingrays, you don't want to turn the ball over. You do not want to give the Raptors another opportunity. So you probably are trying to play it safe, milk the clock a little bit. There's under 4 minutes left, so you can take, 30, 40 seconds each play.
So here we go. Stingrays driving, flag on the play, and this is blown up before it can unfold.
That's a false start, so it's going to push the Stingrays back. But the Raptors need to force a turnover here.
Another high snap for Kane Buchanan. That has hurt them all game.
Yeah, both teams have had trouble snapping the ball and catching on the snap. There's been a few issues throughout this game, and I know 1 or 2 of them have really impacted the ability of the offense to function. And it just throws your timing off.
Here they go, the Stingrays. Play made again. The exact same one as before was called. And Sami takes it a couple of yards, but not even back to where they started.
Yeah, it's a good job by Denver Eastwood and Kai James Phipps getting into the backfield. They ran the exact same play as what they were doing before that penalty. So good job of the defense staying in their lane, making that tackle, and forcing the Stingrays into a 3rd and long.
So give the ball back. It's going to be a fascinating ending. The Raptors are chomping at the bit to get back on the field with their offense. Kane Buchanan has to make this play. 3rd and 15. To potentially win the game. Oh, they're going to give it timeout. Oh, no, it's a flag.
It's a flag. I think the right guard jumped. Yeah, that's unfortunate for the Stingrays offense. Their right guard jumped just a little bit. I think he thought the defender had flinched enough that it was going to be offsides on the defense, but he just moved too much. And so now a 3rd and 20 or 3rd and 18 for the Stingrays.
Kane Buchanan, 20 yards to the first down and potentially win this game. He just hands off. Sami has room on the outside. He takes it out of bounds. So they're going to have to give the ball back to the Raptors. You almost think Sami should have taken a knee inbounds.
I think he was still just trying to get as much positive yardage as he could to make 4th down a little bit more manageable. He got hit pretty hard by Denver Eastward on his way going out of bounds, too.
Are they going to go for this 4th down? No, it looks like they'll bring special teams out.
My audio just cut out. Timeout. Oh, 2-minute.
So 2-minute warning. Our clock slightly behind the one on the field. The 2-minute warning has just passed. All they need is a first down. Raptors still have 3 timeouts, so that won't win them the game, but it will certainly make things easier. They can continue their run here. They're going to kick it, though. Redford. Oh, it's jumped offside. The Moreton Bay Raptors might have ruined this.
We'll have to see if the left side of the offensive line jumped first, though.
Well, it did look like it was the Raptors that jumped first on that replay. Quite clear to see.
Yeah, that's Ahalele. He's been in the backfield so effectively, he didn't even need a head start. And unfortunately for the Raptors, yeah, that does give Stingrays a little bit more of a manageable 4th down, but
and yet another one.
Oh.
Ahalele, 2 in a row. Stingrays loving this.
you know, Kate, I had asked the question earlier, how are they going to neutralize the defensive line of the Raptors? And hard counts, a little bit of deception pre-snap has just bought them 10 yards. Oh, no. I stand corrected. It looks like the offensive line jumped just a little bit too much there.
They go backwards, which is definitely not what they wanted, but it won't change the decision for the play. Jay Redford is lined up to punt. Redford gets the high snap. Wobbling torpedo. It's going to be returned. Here comes Kelly Kasulki down the sideline and steps out of bounds, wants to save the clock, which I think is the right decision. 1:51 on the clock. Raptors in possession. They need 2 scores, a touchdown and a field goal. That means they need the touchdown and then a onside kick. 2 things have to go really right.
Well, if they do score quick enough, Kate, they do have those 3 timeouts. So they might be able to stop the Stingrays offense, but they'd have to get 3 successive stops, and that has proven difficult against the Stingrays offense.
And we know their game style. It has been in the trenches. It has been grinding. That is the kind of play that takes time off the clock. They'd have to really change things and take to the air here, the Raptors offense. The reigning champions, their grip slipping on the trophy for the Sun Bowl. Can they hold on? QB2, Toby Joshua. It would be some story if they come back from here. He has multiple offers from US colleges, we're told. Joshua fakes the handoff to the first, gives it to Benson Meso. Meso has room on the outside. Meso tries the hurdle. He's lifted in the process and taken down at the 30. Well, he saw Silver and liked what he saw from the first half. Recognized he's tried the exact same move. Just a little higher in the air this time.
You got to love the aggression on his part. I do wonder if it would have been a little smarter to get out of bounds instead of trying to jump over the defender, because you just cost your team a little bit of a little bit of time off the clock, and that's their biggest enemy right now as an offense.
1:28, time ticking. They're not taking a timeout. They want to play quick. Time for Toby Joshua to show his mettle, controlling his offense. Ball somehow gets to the outside. Luke Lord taken down at the 30. Clock still running.
That was a great form tackle by Eden Wrigley. If he missed that tackle, then Lord could have gotten upfield and gotten out of bounds. So really good open field tackle by a player who's made a couple really big plays for the Stingrays today.
1:01 on the clock, less than a minute left. No timeouts are being taken. I don't know why. They're happy to let this clock run, Jeff.
I just don't think they're used to having to run at a fast pace, Kate.
Joshua goes to the right side this time, and it hits the turf. Does it? No, it's caught. And finally, they take a timeout.
First down should stop the clock. But yeah, the Raptors are going to have to get that play call in really quickly. They're just running out of time. 30 seconds. You got to have almost the next 2 plays drawn up after this one.
This game is slipping away as the time ticks. First down given, and the time continued to run, and they finally take a timeout.
Yeah, I think I'll have to adjust the clock here.
So they'll have about 30 seconds on the clock. I think they're going to adjust it. 30 seconds for 2 scores. Need a touchdown, onside kick, and then at least a field goal. It's a lot to ask for a QB2, even if he is an 18-year-old and 6-year veteran in this league.
And you feel for the Raptors. Luke James, who'd been their quarterback for a long time. He's been the quarterback the entire season, been really effective. For him to go down and not be able to play in the second half has clearly thrown off this Raptors offense. They got 2 really nice touchdowns on the ground and just have not been able to capitalize since he's gone down with an injury.
Well, that will be the story of this Sun Bowl. Luke James unable to play through the second half. Toby Joshua trying to click on to hope, but fading with the afternoon sun here at Totally Workwear Stadium. Joshua, a drop back, so much time. The Hail Mary goes up in the air. It's picked off. Jay Redford for the second time. Redford, he's got one more man to beat to seal the deal in the Sun Bowl. Jay Redford takes it to the house, and the Stingrays have their championship.
You've got to give it up for the captain here. The quarterback is just trying to make a play. He looked once, looked twice, down to his third read, just tried to heave it up into the corner, but it wasn't enough, and Redford was there to make the play. And a fantastic run back. He had to navigate 3 or 4 different Raptors players on his way to the end zone.
It's a fitting end for these Gold Coast Stingrays to have the ball in hand for the final score. There's 7 seconds left, and Jay Redford has killed all hopes for the Moreton Bay Raptors. The championship for 2025 will go to the Gold Coast. Finally, they take it from the minor premiers.
They are going to take a look.
There'll be a video review of this play, but I think it's going to stand.
They might be looking for a block in the back. That's always the risk on some of these interception returns as well, because the defensive players are not used to blocking. They're used to tackling. Or did he step out of bounds, maybe?
Well, if it was after the pick, I think the pick stands, but they don't get the score. Is there a block in the back? I mean, was it a block, or was he, Toby Joshua, falling to the ground with momentum? I think that's the question being asked.
And he did engage the defender face forward.
Yeah. It's been confirmed. It's fine by the video judge in the booth here with us. And it looks like the play will stand, and Jay Redford can hang his helmet on this play for the 2025 championship.
had the huge interception earlier, and then had an interception and a pick six. Unbelievable way to end the game for one of the captains.
And they've called it. That play will stand. It's a touchdown. The arms go up, and the Gold Coast Stingrays are champions. Once again, this is all academic. They have 7 seconds left on the clock to play out. But in Sun Bowl 41, it will be the Gold Coast Stingrays who take home the trophy.
What an incredible turn of events, Kate. The second half started with the Raptors having a nice long drive all the way down to establish that 14-0 lead. But then it was their captain, Ashley Hearn, came in at quarterback and led 2 quick touchdown drives for the Stingrays, and it has completely flipped this game as a result.
They just need a single knee, and it will be confirmed. They run it.
I think they were going for 2 on the conversion there, so the Raptors will get one more chance, but with a 16-point deficit, 7 seconds is not going to be enough time for them to get 16 points.
You're right, Jeff. They were going for the 2 point. I don't know why, but they wanted the 2 points extra. 7 seconds on the clock for Moreton Bay Raptors, and it is all academic. They hang their heads. The Raptors, who are without their quarterback, Luke James, injured in the first half. A disappointing way for the minor premiers to go down.
And you have to give a lot of credit to that Stingrays defense, forcing interceptions, forcing fumbles. One guy tried to go after him. They had a lot of group tackles in that second half, and most importantly, they had the second or third guy chopping at the ball, and that's what caused Silva to fumble a couple times.
Well, Jay Redford, he is banged up. He is wearing half the field of turf on his arms by the looks of things. But he has been monumental in this Sun Bowl. He's punted, he's caught, he's scored. Seems fitting that he kicks off here. End over end punt. Goes all the way through to the end zone and extends the misery here a little longer for the Moreton Bay Raptors.
Yeah, Jay's been Mr. Do-It-All. Receiver, D-line, linebacker, kicker, punter, injury recoverer. And if you're the Raptors, you might try to get one more play off. See if you can make the score a little more interesting. And really, the Raptors were still doing a good job in the trenches, but it was with their second-string quarterback. Every time they went to the air, they just could not find a lot of success doing that in the second half. And the turnovers certainly killed them. Timeout, Stingrays. They might have been trying to get some of their subs in. Actually, they've got too many players on the field. That's why they get to call timeout.
They want everyone to take the field for this win. They had too many men on the field.
Well, and it's certainly been a team win for the Stingrays. It has not been one player. It has been 5 or 6 of their best players making repeated big plays throughout this Sun Bowl. Whether it was Captain Griffin Pepiat with the punch and the fumble recovery on that forced fumble. It was Greenaway making tackles in the backfield. It was Jay Radford with a couple interceptions, touchdown. Eden Wrigley, touchdown. On offense, Kundai had made some incredible catches, including one of his touchdowns. Both quarterbacks have contributed.
So Raptors back on offense for a mere 7 seconds to end this Sun Bowl. One play to finish things off. Darius G at quarterback throws it out of bounds. 1 second left on the clock when that went out. But I think the referees are going to call it. Will they make them play it out?
I think they might be calling it here.
Well, the sideline noise tells the story. The referees say it's all over. The whistle sounds. The Stingrays celebrate. They are champions once again. In Sun Bowl 41, it's the club that was built on tradition with 5 previous championships. They return to the biggest stage and add yet another junior championship to their remarkable history. Clark Vorhauer, the coach, his first year as head coach in the junior program. It's a win that speaks to their culture. One achieved through belief against the minor premiers. Commiserations to the Moreton Bay Raptors. They are the reigning champions, the minor premiers. They have pushed this contest to the limits, and they were unfortunate to lose their quarterback early in the match. But it is the blue and white that will be celebrating the Gold Coast Stingrays Sun Bowl 41 champions. I'm going to leave you, Jeff, with the highlights as I make my way to the field to present the trophy, and we will stay here for the next game. Kicks off at 7 p.m. Sun Bowl 41 for the seniors. Rhinos play Ravens in what is a rematch of last year's Sun Bowl. That one is going to be huge. For now, we'll leave you with the presentations. Jeff McGoodwin will stay on commentary.
You have to give a lot of credit to the Stingrays here. Been a fantastic Sun Bowl. They were down 14-0 at the start of the second half after the Raptors had that first drive. I can't speak highly enough about the way that the coaches kept their team engaged, made a very strategic change to put Ashley Hearn back in at quarterback, and he jumpstarted their offense in the second half. And there were some big plays. There's Hearn on Eden Wrigley, who makes the first man miss, and then just started taking off. This is what jump-started them in the start of the second half. After the Raptors scored their first touchdown, it was the Stingrays, that long play to Eden Wrigley, and then Hearn again on the 2-point conversion to Radford. Then there was a quick turnover. Hearn doing a fantastic job rolling out, punching it in. Well done to the Stingrays. Congratulations, you're 2025 Juniors champions.
Take me back to when I couldn't count the times I bit my tongue and the taste of blood in my mouth. The faces in the trees would smile and wait. They'd ask me how I'd been since yesterday. In a strange land, I hope found my way back soon. Tracing my steps, I know you've been there too. Wait 1 second for the rest of my life to pass right by. Over the hill and far away, the ducks went one by one. They said it was safe. Little do we know just what awaits. Hands covering my eyes, looks like I was too late.
under-18s Sun Bowl. First of all, thanks to everyone who showed up. The crowd was really loud. I was up there in commentary and couldn't hear myself sometimes, which is a credit to you guys, to all the supporters, all the family and friends that come out every single weekend. You guys are the ones that make it behind the scenes, so a big round of applause to you. Also, a big thank you to our sponsors, Impact Sports, Tribal Sports and SportsLink Travel. We owe a lot to them, and they help us put on an incredible event every single year. To both the teams, you guys were outstanding. First of all, to the Raptors, minor premiers with what was an incredible season. Full credit to you guys. You put up an amazing fight. I'm going to ask both coaches to come out and speak. So I'll ask the Raptors coach to come up first. Please give it up for T. Suchun.
Thank you to everyone that came out from all clubs. Sorry. Is that me? We came out here. We were ready to play some football. We knew this was going to be tough. It always is. It's the Stingrays. Like every year, we always have to prepare for the Stingrays. They've been the standard for a long time, they played a better game than us. They were better than us. We kind of just. We tried our hardest, tried our best. We planned for today as best we could, but it just turns out their plan was better. And full credit to the boys, though. Honestly, we had a bit of an up and down season, just with availability, injuries, and all sorts of stuff. And trying to maintain consistency was really hard. And when you're at the front being chased, it's really hard to stay consistent as well. So I'm really happy and proud of the boys in how they've managed to sort of keep the energy going. So unfortunate about not being able to finish it. Would have been awesome to go back to back. Also shout out to my coaches. Thank you. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a team. Thank you to everyone that's supported us all season. Give it up for the Stingrays. Thank you.
Big thank you, T. And now I'd like to ask the coach of the Stingrays, the championship winning coach, Clark Vorhauer.
First of all, I'd just like to say what a pleasure it is to be able to play in the memory of Jeff Hay today. For those who don't have a story about him, it is very easy to hear one. He was my first coach 12 years ago. If it wasn't for him, this club isn't what it is. This league isn't what it is. So just thank you, everyone, for getting behind the movement of it, and you guys that helped grow the game. It's the best thing we can possibly do. Thank you for everyone who makes this possible. Parents, referees, the committee, everyone. Without you, this doesn't work. And as someone who's played for a long time, it's so apparent. So thank you guys very much. To T and the Raptors, you guys were a paddle all year. You guys should be so proud of yourselves. Drew the season 1-1 with you guys, gave us the business when you guys came to us. Obviously last year, knocking us off in the Sun Bowl. So we knew it was going to be a battle, and it's full credit to my guys, just the battle they showed today, the heart all of them had, backing each other up. I could not be more thankful. Thank you, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, first up, we're going to present the MVP of the Sun Bowl for the under-18s. This player had a couple of massive plays, but both of us in commentary think that the sealer was the final play, the scoring play, the pick six. The MVP for 2025 is Jay Redford. We unfortunately don't have time for speeches. Thank you, Jay. I know you've given us a great few words. And finally, it is time to present the trophy to the 2025 champions. James Calishaw, the president of American Football Queensland, is going to present it to the coach. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 champions.
Romantic, isn't it? Shut up and sit down.